everybody in the world blind. Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the final Smackdown of 2022. Holy shit.
I'm back. After a week, I'm back, y'all.
But yeah, before we get into it, if you guys are new, make sure you hit the like button. You hit the subscribe button, man. Y'all fucking killing it the last couple of days on the channel.
I can't believe we grew that much within a week. So yeah. I thank you guys, man. I really do. Love you guys. Thank you for riding with us.
Absolutely,
man.
But I gotta say, man, how about that Phillies yearbook? Oh shit!
I legitimately sat here bawling.
It's like
it was amazing how that season went. Amazing.
It really is. But now we're actually getting started with Bray Wyatt open up the show.
Oh, I thought he was hurt. I thought he got hurt a live event.
I don't think so.
Unless this was pre-recorded. No, this says it's live. Never mind. Starting off with Bray Wyatt. His theme is pretty freaking awesome. Did you listen to the full thing?
Yeah,
It's freaking awesome, dude.
it really is.
I love his theme.
It's just like it's.
And I love the fact that he has this door thing. It's so cool. I love his entrance.
I say just basically just let him in.
Let him in. Yeah, that's his whole thing. Let him in. And I love how it has like a light, so it's like kind of like symbolic in a sense. He's like the light that shines on the people, whatever. This theme is so cool though. It's like ominous, but it's like rock heavy. I like it.
Oh boy. What's good, Jeff?
Appreciate What's up, bud?
Yeah, sir.
The champ is here. That's right. John Cena. Do.
Honestly, it's
do.
Like you would probably tell us that John Cena is gonna come back to wrestling at least one more match. We would look at it and say, "There's no way in hell."
Dude, I knew he was probably gonna come back by the end of the year because you can't kill the streak.
No, you really can't.
And plus, every year.
And plus, we really think about it. He's pretty much one of the faces of the company.
Yes, he's been the face since 2002.
And it's crazy too. Just like if you have not really watched this man wrestle,
he really didn't solidify himself as the face until 2005.
Yeah,
but he was the future in 2002.
Well,
dude, I'm telling you, if you listen to this theme, it says "Die for me, brother." I'm telling you, Uncle Howdy is his brother, Bo. It's Bo.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of given. I mean, look,
if you listen to the theme, it says "Die for me, brother." That's what his theme says. It's
Oh yeah, Jeff. Trust me, we're gonna get
Bo. It's Bo.
Oh yeah, Jeff too. Since you mentioned that, we're actually going to talk. We're actually going to be breaking that down on Thursday, actually, for season 3 of the It's Ready podcast. Who would have fucking thought?
Honestly, the way Logan Paul wrestled, I wouldn't be opposed. I'm not opposed. I'm really not.
And
he shocked me. And he shocked me the last 2 matches he wrestled in.
And I actually seen a couple of interviews with the Usos. Yeah, kind of give him his props.
And if you look at the way he talks about the wrestling business, because he on his like podcast and stuff, because he does have a podcast too.
Yeah.
He's been actually putting over wrestling. This is fun. I love it. It's hard, but it's fulfilling and stuff like that. So I really do commend him for putting wrestling over.
And now they're showing some highlights from last week on Friday Smackdown where Bray Wyatt just snapped and attacked the cameraman.
Dude, is he a face? Is he a heel? What's going on?
It's like
like he's feuding with LA Knight, who's a heel, but then he attacks. It could be the split personality thing too.
Yeah,
he's a face, and then when he gets set off, he's a heel.
Which I can't be opposed to it.
I'm not at all. I'm really not.
I mean, it's like
pitch black match on the way, yeah. And I hate the fact that they put a sponsor in the match. Oh, it's a Mountain Dew drink too. Like what?
I'm sorry, but see these other flavor Mountain Dews. I was like, why the hell you gotta ruin the OG?
Now you're making a pitch black Mountain Dew. It's like, all right, you made like your 15th flavor.
I'm sorry, but no flavor is gonna come close to the original Mountain Dew.
Honestly,
and I can say that.
Honestly, I don't mind Code Red or Voltage.
But actually, for me, I think second close for me is Baja Blast. I really like Baja Blast.
Oh, Baja Blast, like top
dude,
tier.
Dude, Baja. If you have it as a freezy, oh, that's just so good.
He's saying he doesn't regret much.
And he got his finger. And I don't know if you noticed that his middle and his ring finger are taped up.
He's saying that he apologizes for what happened last week because he regrets it.
And
he's saying the cameraman did not deserve that.
Yeah, Jeff, we do not disagree with that.
So it's like he gets so angry he gets like set off.
Exactly. Oh, before we go
LA Knight is a star. You can't write it. You can't tell me different. LA Knight is a star.
Nah, you really can't.
He has that look of a star. He speaks like a star. He wrestles like a star. He's a star.
He's a star all over the damn place. Also,
he screams star. You look at him, he screams star.
Why, RQ? Why are you doing that?
Why? Yeah, why? Just turn on Smackdown. If you're a wrestling man, just turn on Smackdown,
before we go any further, can we say rest in peace to the late Don West? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, dude.
What the hell?
Yeah. One of the best. He was the best color commentator
him and
for
Mike
TNA.
Taylor, I think, were probably the best. Well, one of the best commentary for TNA
in all of wrestling. In all of wrestling. But yeah, he was the TNA color commentator from 2002. It's TNA's inception year.
And
to 2012.
This also started at the point where they were still had that partnership with the NWA. Even though at the time when I really watched those old episodes, it's like this was convoluted as hell with the damn partnership. At the time,
honestly, it wasn't really convoluted. The only thing that I really hated was that Jeff Jarrett was like hogging the main title.
Yeah, that was the biggest issue.
So much until about like 2005.
And I'll say this too. I mean, God, who remembers? And a lot of people don't remember. R-Truth was an Impact for quite a bit. You know, look at us like R-Truth when he was. I think when he goes this wrong killings. I don't know exactly what he was.
He was Ron the Truth Killings.
I'm thinking to myself like, wow, that's who would have thought?
And I feel like that's why he returned as R-Truth, not K Quick, because of that Ron the Truth Killings. It got so over.
So Jess said, "Absolutely, the dude's got to be a world champion at some point. They got to put the damn belt on LA Knight at some point."
I feel like give him a few months, and I can see him getting the world title.
Because I mean, you got the star. He's got everything you can ask for in a world champion.
He's got the look. He's got the mic skills. He's got the wrestling ability.
I mean,
he's a star.
His resume speaks for itself. You looked at it, how he wrestled in Impact, and where does he wrestle? Just Impact.
He wrestled he wrestled in Impact, and he was in NWA for a short time.
I forgot about NWA.
He was only there for like a few months, and then he was with WWE.
I'll say this too, Triple H. You are such a fucking savior because thank God for saving LA Knight from that.
The guy was given he was given the name Max UP and sent to a Maximum Male model gimmick. Like what the?
When we first saw that on the screen,
dude, Vince was going to ruin LA Knight.
Triple H is saying nope, and obviously, yeah, I can agree with this. With this, the way how this storyline is it's really well built.
I don't look. I feel like fans are rushing. They're trying to rush it.
Like there's no patience.
Why hasn't Bray wrestled on SmackDown? Why hasn't he wrestled the second day he's been there? Enough.
Oh shit.
This is a what did he just say?
I don't know what he exactly said, but he threw the mic at LA Knight's chest. And now we're seeing some clips from
I'm trying to hear. He accepts.
Oh shit, here we go.
He accepts a match.
Okay, yeah.
And now we got Uncle Howdy.
Even Bray Wyatt's like, what the? Like he just had that. Bray Wyatt's got this.
Because Uncle Howdy's trying to get into Bray's head. That's the thing with the story. I feel like they're going to slowly turn him heel because he's going to successfully get into his head.
Yeah. It's just crazy just how well built the story is between Wyatt.
It's so well built, but the problem is fans want to rush it.
Like
let this story simmer.
Let it marinate for crying out loud.
Let it marinate.
Because you got Bray Wyatt. Like
I'm telling you, it's Bo.
You can tell that it's. I mean, the height kind of.
You can see the earring he has.
Yeah, the cross earring. That kind of gives. And also too, like he doesn't do that. His height.
He's walking to the ring. Why does his entrance remind me of like a knockoff Undertaker?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Jeff, we did
knockoff Undertaker gimmick. I'm telling you, it's 1,000. I'm agreeing with you, Jeff. It's a 1,000,000%, bro.
I mean, the height. I mean, there's a lot of things you can't tell. You can't tell us otherwise.
The weight, everything. It's Bo.
I definitely can tell that he's actually
and he's short. Bo's short.
Well,
He's
he's
always
short.
been short.
And remember his first when Uncle Guy made his first appearance, like you could tell, like both.
He took
like,
off his hat.
What are we?
All right, what's
I mean,
happening? And don't spoil it because I know you're ahead of me.
and that's I was
Don't
about to say
react
too. The thing with Bo is like he also has long hair at the
He
same
does
time.
have long. He has that long dark hair. Yeah.
It's just what
Man.
what is happening?
Okay, they're not showing his face, but it's dim. So don't react because I know they're going to show his face. Okay.
Dude, this is getting interesting.
Okay. Now we standing in between Bray and. Okay, they're not showing his face. You gonna take off the mask? Oh,
what the hell?
Now he's looking at Bray.
What the fuck is that?
What is happening right now? He's standing. Oh my god, he attacked Bray.
What the hell just happened?
What?
Wow.
What in the hell is happening right now?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell just happened?
Exactly, LA Knight. What is going on? He said the same thing that we're thinking. What? What?
I'm confused.
Yo, I am properly confused right now. What just happened? He just goes into the ring. His sister Abigail's Bray, and then walks out. Yo, are we getting Bray versus Bo?
Guess I don't know.
We're getting Bray versus Bo versus LA Knight in a triple threat, probably. Yo.
Yeah.
They did wonders for Bo's career with this. I swear they did.
I mean, yeah. Because I felt like Bo, like the person behind, not behind, the actual.
Here's the thing. He speaks when he speaks, though. It's kind of like they're using like a deep voice filter, and then when he like.
And speaking of which, we do have a special guest backstage, Mr. Jeffy.
Yo,
that was freaking awesome. That was awesome.
Dude, that was. Dude,
that was great.
Dude, that was glorious, man. Glorious.
Absolutely. It was just like, what the hell is what's going on? It's like
I am properly confused, but I'm happy that I'm so confused. It makes me invested.
Absolutely. And now we're getting a little bit of a conversation between Heyman and Sami Zayn right now backstage.
Like I said before, it's going to hurt like hell when they turn on him.
It really is.
What's happening? You think it's going to happen at the Rumble or you think it's going to happen at the Chamber? Where do you think they're going to finally turn on Sami?
I think it might be. I think the Rumble. I say give it at the Rumble. I think this is.
I say let this simmer a bit more and give it the Chamber.
I think it could be the Rumble. I think it could be the Rumble because of the fact they're teasing Owens versus Reigns at the Rumble, the Royal Rumble title.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
Sami gets involved and maybe he gets involved in the matchup trying to help out Kevin Owens.
That does make sense. Because you if you've seen the past few months when he was feuding with Kevin, he's been so conflicted.
Mm-hmm. Like you could start to see him turning on both sides.
Yeah.
That was tremendous. I love LA Knight. Vince McMahon is the dumbest human being ever. How you could screw somebody as good as LA Knight.
Why would he try to ruin him?
So good.
He's a star. He's a star.
Oh, he's such a good dick. He's such a dick on the mic. I mean, he's one of those guys you build your company around. He's that good.
Absolutely.
He is. He is your top star for sure.
And I don't even argue, guys. He's one of the most. This is the underrated feud out of everything in wrestling right now.
I can't disagree with that.
And I have to say again to the fans, reiterate: you gotta let the story simmer.
Yeah,
you gotta let this stuff simmer, man. Enough of this. We want to see Bray wrestle the second week of the show. What?
Well,
let this stuff simmer.
Shit. I mean, can't disagree with that. It's just,
and this story's been so good.
Long-term storytelling, fellas. Long-term storytelling.
I can't. I mean, seasons never fail.
And I am properly invested in it.
Me too. I think
it's like it's just like now the fact that you had
somebody get skip trash lists off my TV.
I think most for it, but I mean, the fact that Bo decides to Sister Abigail Bray, I'm thinking to myself, what the heck? Like, I'm thinking to myself,
dude,
like,
I'm like,
who was the head writer for this storyline?
Does it make sense though?
It makes
too much sense for him to side with him. Split personality.
Yeah, you know what? That's a very good point.
Turn on him. It makes sense for him to turn on him rather than side with him. It builds the story even more.
Yeah,
like Tyler was saying, that alter ego between the two of them. Like it's Bray's good side, which is Bray right now, and then you have Uncle Howdy, who's like all the inner demons and evil inside of Bray Wyatt that come to life, pretty much.
Because originally, when we first,
I mean, in a sense, I do see why he turned on him because he was trying to con him into like this like mental state.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like when we first saw how the storyline's kind of built, we saw bits and pieces of Uncle Howdy. I'm thinking to myself, could this be Bray's new alter ego? Because originally we thought it was Bray's new alter ego.
We thought he had like 5 other, personalities.
Like from the movie Split, like they had that split person.
Yeah, from that movie Split, when the guy had like 15
different personalities, and just I don't know.
Now I was thinking that originally. I'm like, all right, and then Uncle Howdy in person comes out. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not.
I love it. I think it's brilliant.
Absolutely,
and I love the fact that my theory was completely wrong and it threw me for a loop.
Well, at least
because now I'm even more invested in it. I'm like,
wow. Now I'm thinking to myself, like, it's already going to be because I don't know. It's just wow. like it leaves you speechless. But just how well this story has been kind of sitting.
And I'm telling you right now, it's probably not any writer writing this. This is probably Bray writing this.
And this is why you have to tell you can't disagree with me. No, I think no one can disagree that Bray was probably going to be the best creative genius. And other than Paul Heyman, I think he's other better creative genius.
Honestly, if Bray when Bray ever retires, there would be better hire him as creative team. They better.
Because the dude he just knows how to create stories. Let's be real, better than anybody. I think also, like I said, I wouldn't give one, take it away from Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman knows how to write good stories too. At the same time,
Paul Heyman was a creative genius too.
All you gotta say is too, like Tyler, man, you missed a. Also, can we talk about the fact that Dragon Lee's in WWE? What the fuck?
I was just about to bring that up.
What the hell did that come from? I'm thinking myself, like, what the hell is wrestling right now? Like, you have
honestly, this is how the entire year went. It has been crazy moment after crazy moment after crazy moment. The entire year.
Like, you have him and his brother Joe Listico win the AAA tag team titles. Then we come to find out we get some breaking news. Shout out to ESPN, by the way, who, for the love of God, I've never seen the ESPN ever cover.
They first reported it. ESPN did.
And the fact that he signs a deal is just like,
yeah, let's go Solo. Let's go Solo Sikoa, baby.
Woo! Another star.
Love Solo Sikoa.
I mean, he's got a look. I mean, even though he looks like his brothers, the Usos, but I mean, he's got a little bit of his uncle in there too, which is of his body size.
Umaga.
Yeah, I can see
Umaga.
I think
he's basically the current day Umaga.
And surprisingly too, he actually came out in an interview and said, yeah, he wants to pitch the idea to pay tribute to his uncle with the Samoan Spike, and WWE allowed that.
Yeah, I'm okay. This is Vince's regime. They would never let it happen. Triple H is genius when it comes to this stuff. Letting him go out there and do that type of gimmick to pay tribute to his uncle. I love it.
I mean, the mannerisms definitely.
Triple H, here's what Triple H is. He is wrestler first, fan first. He isn't about the money. He's for the talent and the fans.
Triple H has done this for 30 years. Like, he knows how to get over it with fans. Now, granted, if he's a heel, like, he's one of those heels that you want to punch in the face, but it's just like he's also at times, you know, I mean, he has his moments.
He's a pulse for the people. We'll say that. He knows what the fans want, and he's going to give the fans everything that they want, you know, to keep them invested in these shows. And that's what you ask for in your promoter for a show, is you want them to go out there and give the fans what they want. And that's exactly what Triple H is doing right now, bringing back all these stars, changing up some characters of some current people on the show. It's like a totally different show from where it was pre-SummerSlam.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that he's actually in the Triple H is going to have him and Stephanie are going to have full control starting the new year is going to be making it much more better. Because now the fact
incredible.
It's going to be great. And NXT is going to be very interesting now they're going to have Dragon Lee on that roster, which I'm going to be very.
Dude, I feel like NXT got exponentially better with that signing. I really.
Rob, it's just going to be the beginning. He's the first of others that are going to be coming to WWE.
And someone should point out this too. Outside of Ray, like, we have never seen another luchador that didn't have the same exact success that Ray's had.
No, you know, we haven't. You had guys like Sin Cara.
That was a disaster. That was a disaster.
That was a disaster signing for sure. You have guys like the Lucha,
the Lucha House Party.
Yeah,
it was okay, but it's just not. It was not.
No, the thing is, it was a good tag team, but they were booked as a joke half the time.
Well, here's the difference, though, guys. The fact of the matter is, this was all under Vince McMahon when he was the in charge of creative. Yeah. Can these guys get over without their and also here's another thing, is Dragon Lee keeping that mask? Because at the same time they took the mask off of Santos Escobar when he used to wrestle all around the world in Mexico, that he had a mask on. They took it off.
Yeah, King Cuerno. A lot of people don't remember it from the time.
It wasn't just King Cuerno. He was like some other name that was like so long that I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
He was in Triple A.
Andrade too. Same thing. They took the mask off.
Forgot about Andrade wore a mask. But that could be up to Dragon Lee. Does he want to still continue the tradition? Because you never know if his family before him also wore the same exact mask, which is also like a generational thing. Which is a lot. And of
also, you got to think too. When Santos Escobar became Santos Escobar, Vince was still in the company.
That is true. And I got to say too, I'm really digging LDF. But for the love of
I love Legado del Fantasma. I think they are absolutely
so
phenomenal.
Dude,
Santos is phenomenal. The group is great. I don't know how I feel about Zelina in the group yet. I think she's got to get a little
give me Electric Lopez in there. I think she makes a lot more sense to put it in there. Even
for me, Zelina just feels out of place.
It's just like that's like she sticks out like a sore thumb. Like
you want to know why it bothers me so much that she feels so out of place. That's a Mexican lineage faction. She's Puerto Rican.
That is true.
That makes no sense.
Like
it makes no sense.
Now, if she was part of a Puerto Rican group, that's a whole different thing.
It would have made more sense, but it doesn't.
But Electra Lopez, I mean,
she's in a group that has a Mexican heritage.
But I mean,
it makes no sense to me.
Hey, Tyler, think of this too. Could you imagine Dragon Lee and Carmelo Hayes going at it on NXT television?
Give me it now. Give me Dragon.
I think the reason why they put her. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think the reason why they put her with Legado, because they thought that maybe they would have a little bit difficulty getting onto the main roster with people noticing who they are. So they put a notable person like Zelina Vega part of the group. But the difference is with Andrade, the reason why that pairing went so well is because she could speak for him because he wasn't very fluent when it came to the English language. Where Santos Escobar,
you know what?
That guy knows how to talk. He's amazing, Santos. And he can hold his own on the
English. Dude,
I mean,
Santos's English is so good, you would swear that he wasn't from a different country, that he was an American citizen.
I'll say this too. I think he's another guy I'd like to see a world champion in the next 2 to 3 years time in that timeline. But she's got Santos Escobar.
Santos is definitely going to win it.
And I want Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro to be tag champs.
I cannot disagree with that because you got a really good tag team in your hands. Because, like, as Jeff alluded to, like, if you had it, if this was Vince McMahon, no one will really give a flying. Like, he will just ruin them like that with a flick of a switch. It's just how Vince is.
Hey, how about this? Imperium versus Legado del Fantasma.
Oh, damn it!
Santos versus Gunther, and then you got Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser taking on Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. Sign us up. That would be amazing.
Absolutely.
You got a feud for days from the Brawling Brutes. I don't give a shit about Shit Row. I don't care about them.
Nobody does.
Oh my God. After
the worst signing Triple H made was bringing in Hit Row. They suck.
After that failed sunset flip, not sunset flip.
Yeah, Tope Suicida.
Oh yeah, the one Top Dollar did. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
They lost all credibility after that. All credibility.
But I will say this. But I'll say this too. I think Triple H did rectify by bringing someone like Dragon Lee, who's actually more credible than anybody else.
Dragon Lee's.
Can he get over though? That's the problem. Can he get over with the crowd?
That's the real test.
The biggest question. Can he get over with the crowd? Because it's a different thing with the WWE audience compared to, like, the audiences in CMLL and Ring of Honor, New Japan, AAA, exactly.
And you got to think too. And you got to think too, man. You're working a bigger arena than you are with Ring of Honor,
and a longer schedule.
AEW,
exactly.
So, yeah, you're
but if he does,
reach, you can't get over with the larger reach.
I think he should have no problems getting over. I mean, he's kind of
But
really.
you got to think too, Rob. You got to think too. The reason why he got over in AEW and Ring of Honor is because they had smaller crowds.
They're more better for the Lucha Libre style than WWE is. WWE is not. I mean, they have Lucha guys that can wrestle in like that type of style, but I think Dragon Lee's wrestling style does fit a little bit better with AEW compared to WWE. Because WWE doesn't really have that. Well, they might bring back the Cruiserweight division. I love that. Bring back the Cruiserweight division.
Because I would not be opposed to that. Because you got some interesting, you got some great Cruiserweight talent. Wesley, for crying out loud, if you're not watching any of this, his Carmelo Hayes no,
Carmelo Hayes is the future of this business. That dude is megastar written all over it. He is everything you want. Carmelo Hayes is everything you want a world champion. It's him.
Yep.
That dude is.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying to you, Rob, for like the past month. Past few months,
because at the time I didn't really watch him wrestle, so I didn't know who Tyler was. Even Tyler, I think you did. I even told you I didn't even know who Carmelo was till I actually got a chance to see his matches. Him and Wesley.
The thing is, you weren't watching NXT that much. Neither was I.
Because we were kind of slacking on that.
Yeah,
wasn't
away from NXT too.
No, this was before. No, it's not. It's not the fact that we were slacking. No, not recent weeks though. It was the fact it was before we started the NXT streams. We didn't know who the heck these people were because we weren't watching NXT on a weekly basis.
I wouldn't say. Well, I don't know about Velveteen Dream. I mean, especially after all the shit that he had gone through.
The guy's a douchebag. The guy's a douchebag.
Yeah, it's not happening.
No. And I don't know if he's already picked up, the new change in the wellness policy. Like, you won't get fired.
Yeah, they because Triple H doesn't want any of these people to go over to AEW. He doesn't want Matt Riddle to get fired, and then he ends up in All Elite Wrestling. He's not stupid.
I mean, Matt Riddle is a great talent.
He is, and that's it. You don't want a great talent to go over to AEW.
And just, I mean, even at NXT, there's some potential stars in the making down in there. I mean, one in the women's division, I think a lot of people are.
Roxanne Perez is a megastar.
Absolutely.
She's the face of the women's division going forward. She is. The fact that she won the women's championship, she won that breakout tournament, she won that gauntlet match in literally her first 5-6 months in the company. You obviously know they have mega plans for Roxanne Perez going forward. I like Corey Jade too. But mega plans for Roxanne Perez. That's their next big women's star in the future is Roxanne. She has it all.
Absolutely. And Sol Ruka, I want to give her a little bit of some love too. Sol Ruka she's an interesting one.
Dude, she does like this whole like.
It's called the Soul
thing
Trapper.
On the corner of the whole it's like she like does like a front flip into a cutter off the rope.
One of the sickest moves I've ever seen. It's innovative. It's
Oh
you know what
my
it is? Innovative.
gosh.
It's new. Nobody's ever done a move like that. It's gonna mess up your back.
I've never seen it.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Never
absolutely.
seen it before.
And can we also give Shawn Michaels and Triple H a lot of credit for fixing Donovan Dijak for crying out loud?
Oh my god! Thank freaking God! No more
Thank
T-bar.
you, Lord, dude. I know his gimmick still gives me like Terminator vibes, but it's cooler than whatever the heck they WWE did before.
Yeah, that failed ass retribution gimmick.
Put him in a mask. Like what?
And it's like, and I'm trying to think. I mean, well, no one Tyler knows me better than anybody. When there's a couple particular ones,
and Juice. Matt Riddle never beat his girlfriend. That was a lie. It ended up being a lie because she fabricated the whole thing.
Well, you don't really know what's a lie and what's true anymore. They could hide some things. I mean, I hope it's not true because Matt Riddle is a tremendous talent.
Oh no! It came out that she fabricated the whole thing. She fabricated it.
She did.
And also, newsflash: screwing porn stars ain't a crime.
It really isn't.
It's not.
But I definitely like Cora Jade too. I mean, I think Cora Jade. I think it's another good one. I think she's
still nothing. Well, still nothing. We just disproved your point. And also doing drugs. Yeah, what he did was wrong. And he did hard drugs. And yes, that's heinous. Now that I can agree with. Doing hard drugs, yeah.
I'll give him a break because the fact that he's had a really rough year with the whole thing with his divorce. You got to just going through a downward spiral.
You can give him a pass for that, but you can also make the case too. He has a job. He shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. But he is going through stuff mentally, and give him a pass, Juice.
But yeah, I mean, even at NXT now, granted, I mean, it's like someone actually brought up like I've seen like a couple candidates who could replace me or would take in Toxic Attraction. But we'll
somebody better fix the screen on the barricade. That thing is flickering.
Yeah, and here comes Drew McIntyre.
Oh boy, they putting the chair on Sheamus. Oh, he's going for that Umaga finish.
He's probably going for that Samoan spike or like the ATM, the thing where he smashes him in the in the corner.
Yeah, almost like a
Yeah. Up here comes the Scottish Warrior Drew.
I will say, to get back to your point earlier, Rob, I like Cora Jade. I think she's got a tremendous upside. She's really become better as a heel. I still think she needs to get better in the ring. She's still very, very.
She's still.
She's like refined like Roxanne. Yeah,
she's not like super green, but you can see there's flashes that she can be.
Yeah, she has some. She has what Roxanne cool, but the thing is, she's still green.
Yeah, in some areas. But I will say this too. Triple and Tyler knows where I'm going with this one. I think she knows who I'm talking about. Not Mr. Bumbling.
You've been clamoring about this.
I swear to God, I am going to wind up smacking somebody for not repackaging Wendy Chu. I swear to God, I'm really getting pissed off right now. Like, repackage her right now.
Maybe they don't believe in her though, because she's been repackaged not once, but she looks like it's gonna be twice. Maybe
that is true.
You can go with Wendy Chu. She is what she is. Some people you can just go as far as you can. I mean, you know who else I've been actually very impressed with? Kiana James.
Dude, me and Tyler have been very high on her.
She's good.
Very, very high on her. She has a great character. Her in-ring looks improved.
The biggest rivalry with Fallon Henley too on NXT television has been very good.
I find it funny that they're using one of the members of the tag team, and that dude's crushing so hard that he's shaking half the time.
Yeah, I think that was a couple weeks ago. I think it was on NXT.
Yeah.
And the one repackage I actually really hate was when they repackaged Reggie into fucking Scripps. What the
dude? The problem here's the thing: the Scripps thing would have been cool. The thing is, the outfit looks fake. That's the
It
problem.
really does. Like he doesn't look good in a mask. That's the problem.
It's because the mask is oversized. Doesn't fit his
Like,
head.
What would you do with him though if you don't repackage him? I mean, everybody knows he's Reggie, so you had to like try to give him a mask or something just to make everybody believe.
Yeah,
it's not Reggie,
get
but we
that's
all know
true.
it's
But
Reggie.
just like you could at least done something better with it. So call him Scripps or something.
Well, the
Well,
name
I
is
mean,
stupid. Call him a better name. Scripts makes no sense.
it really doesn't.
cool.
Like, and I've seen the crowd reaction. No one really cares for it.
No, they don't, because they all know it's Reggie, and they, you know what?
And you get Reggie Chance going.
Reggie reminds us of the old regime.
Yeah, I like even Diamond. And can we give a huge congratulations to Ivy Nile for getting married this past weekend or something like that. I don't know if everybody's already saw that.
How's
Cool.
Tatum Paxley doing, by the way? I think she's got some upside, but she's
got some upside, but there's some things that
she's
she has.
still
She's
she's
still
still
rough on the
kind of
edges.
green in
Yeah,
a sense, but she's improved.
Absolutely.
she's okay. I mean, she's got to get a little bit better, but I think there's some upside in
Get
there.
her off my TV. I don't like her.
It's Rhonda, isn't it?
It's Rhonda.
Yeah, they're showing from last week. Last
Get
week's
her off my
SmackDown.
TV.
So she's facing Raquel tonight for the championship.
This is right now. This is coming up next.
Oh, you know what's going to happen? They're going to have some type of stupid DQ, and you know for a fact they're going to have it at the Royal Rumble. Because who the hell else is Ronda Rousey facing right now in that women's division? There's nobody credible enough to take on Ronda in that women's division on SmackDown. Nobody. Raquel's the top one, and she's not even that good.
Yep. The problem that I have with Raquel, she actually is an okay wrestler, is the fact that they
Not
gave her a
smiling. That's what I
smiling.
want.
They gave
It's
her a
stupid.
smiling babyface character. What? What happened? What happened to her when she was in NXT when she was a monster heel?
Vince
Yeah.
McMahon happened. That's what happened, Tyler.
Like,
Vince
my
McMahon
God.
happened and destroyed her gimmick.
Yeah,
That's an easy
Destroyed
answer for
everything
that one.
else.
Make her a monster heel.
She should be. She's a Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair clone. She's a woman that has an imposing figure that when you see her, you know, she should be dominant against everybody else in the women's division. Not freaking
It should be. Yeah, it should be. It should be if you see her, you run. Not if you see her, I'm going to give her a hug because she's a giant teddy bear.
Yeah,
What?
you don't want that.
they really don't.
Oh my God. It's terrible.
It really is.
He didn't. You're right, Juice. He didn't want another strong woman. He already had
That-
that with Rhea and Bianca.
That
But here's the thing. You don't have many strong women on SmackDown.
I hate to say
Yeah,
it, the
Raquel.
Raw women's division's not really that much. It's better, but it's not that much better because all those women are like, you know,
Oh,
they're
The
not getting
Raw's women's
reactions
division.
either.
The Raw's
trash.
women's division. Hold on. The Raw's women's division is a lot worse than SmackDown's.
No, I disagree.
A lot worse.
I think SmackDown is worse. Raw at least has potential. SmackDown's women's
I
division.
mean, if you watch the SmackDown matches with the women, the crowd's into it. But if you watch the Raws, the crowd's dead.
well, it depends on who's out there for the women's division because it depends on who's out there. Because like say I don't know, like say if it's like
If it was Ronda, then yeah, I could see the SmackDown roster or the SmackDown crowd.
because we always said
No one
she
likes
brings
Ronda.
that damn division down.
Dude, Ronda shouldn't even be in WWE. Period. I hate to say
You
it.
know what? She's there. She wants a paycheck.
Yeah, she wants to chat, and she knows that she can get beat in the MMA. So
I mean,
She
shit.
wants to-
What did she get knocked down? What, like less than 30 seconds by Amanda Nunes? Right
Pretty
out the
much.
gate.
she got kicked in the head by Holly Holm, lost the title.
Oh, Holly Holmes.
And
That's
she
what.
got-
Yeah, Holly Holmes was the one that started it out.
Why
and
the
then-
hell did
and
I think
then
of Amanda
Amanda-
Nunes?
I think it might have been her too.
Hold on. But then Amanda Nunes punched her in the face.
I forgot
her
about that.
And then
see,
she
I don't watch
quit.
this UFC as much as
And then she whined like a little girl and basically quit.
like for me because I was going to say too. Like I never watched much UFC, so I wouldn't know.
Neither did I.
Because only the two biggest fights that I've ever heard about was her Holly Holm, Ronda Rousey, and Amanda Nunes, two of one of the bigger names.
The Amanda Nunes fight was the Amanda Nunes fight was the nail in the coffin for her career because she quit.
Yeah.
I mean, you hate to say it, but she's still the most marketable woman in that whole entire division. So, I mean, that's why Ronda Rousey's in the position she is. It's about the money and the marketing. I mean, let's just be real. Who else is after Ronda Rousey? Who's the most marketable woman in that division? Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Bianca.
Bianca. Yeah, definitely.
I would think Bianca's the second.
It's probably Becky. It's probably Becky right now, second.
I think
it's probably Becky too. Because Becky's starting to heat up again.
You know what? That is true. You know, I mean, and I love Bianca, but at some point she's going to have to drop the belt at some point.
I'm getting tired of her face run. She's boring the hell out of me.
I think
it's starting to fizzle. It's really starting to fizzle. Turn heel.
I think she'll do better as a heel because
I agree.
Because I think she's got like the size to be.
Here's the thing that bothers me. She has a heel gimmick, but she's a babyface,
which does not make sense.
I'm not a fan of Jordynne Grace. I think she's a good wrestler, but I think she's overrated.
She can't talk. She can't talk on the mic.
Yeah, that's the only issue. But she's got all the talent in the world, but she can't talk on the mic worth a damn.
That's not going to work in WWE.
Half the time when she like yells and like tries to sound like she's like speaking with some conviction, it sounds fake.
Yeah,
I mean,
it sounds fake.
I think. This may sound like a stretch. Maybe about Rosemary. I mean, like I said, it's a bit of a stretch.
Rosemary is awesome.
Well, Chelsea Green. I heard
she's coming back. There's rumors saying she's coming back.
She could be a good one. She knows how to talk. She's got that bitch figure.
Yeah, and I really like if they would have her be aligned with Cardona still.
No, you know what I would do with her? She would be the perfect replacement for Toxic Attraction.
You know what? I can't.
She has that gimmick that can get that group over. Because Gigi Dolan and JC Jane will die on that main roster without a true leader.
That just sounds completely ironic, though.
But she fits that role. She's like, a very.
I know she fits the role.
Afraid to
I know
she sexy pictures of herself on the internet, so she fits the role.
She actually did close it.
But here's the thing. That's the reason why it's so completely ironic, because they fired Mandy for the sexy pictures, and they're hiring Chelsea Green, and putting her in that group would be so ironic because she did the same thing before she got rid of the account.
I think that Mandy Rose hit her expiration. I think she wasn't going to go any further than what she was. So
yeah, she reached her peak as it was.
Yeah, she kind of hit her ceiling.
I know, and it sucks because I've always liked what Mandy brought, even though it's just,
me too.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know exactly what it was. I don't know if it was the character work, but the fact that she got better, and the fact that she worked her ass off to get try to be better, not just a wrestler, but also better on the mic. It's just unfortunately just never really she hit her peak, and it sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. She was a great talent, but the problem is that WWE gave her an ultimatum: get rid of the account, or we're firing you. And she didn't want to delete the account, so they fired her.
She doesn't need WWE. She did everything she can in WWE. She doesn't need the company. She can just go on her own way.
And plus, look at the amount of Kelly. Yeah, and look at the amount of money that she's been amassing. She definitely doesn't need the company.
I mean, she can go. Wait, she doesn't want to wrestle. Like, that's up to her. Because there's probably other options that can pay her much better. And that's another thing too.
Put it this way. Mandy was basically Kelly circa 2006.
Don't remind me. Trust me.
Mandy Rose was leaps and bounds higher than Kelly.
I'm talking about the look, pretty face, who like strips and stuff like that.
Yeah,
she did that in real life.
That kind of thing.
Thing. But yeah,
I guess
Kelly was just bad in the ring, and like she kind of did get a little bit better, but she was still a bit green when she left.
Oh, she was just she was a pretty face.
Because she was
a pretty face.
Yeah, and she was just a pretty face.
And because everyone wants to try to replicate what Mandy really was, with that pretty looks and be that pretty face for the women for a women's division.
And the fact that Vince tried to make the other wrestlers in that division duplicate Mandy. Oh, we're gonna wear skimpy outfits.
First of all, on a PG product, that does not go to fly.
Product?
No. If this was back in the mid 2000s or even the Attitude Era, Mandy Rose would not be fired. She would probably be applauded for everything she's doing. She'd be getting.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Yeah, I agree with that. You want to know why? Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, you know what deal WWE had with? They had a Playboy deal.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
To do Playboy. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of women that appeared on Playboy back in that time. But yeah, I mean,
and that's the reason why. And that's the reason why some people are mad that they call WWE hypocrites, because WWE allowed this stuff back in the day.
Well, they sexed her up. Let's just be real. They made her into object back in NXT. So
they sexed her up in the main roster. Look at the. Here's the thing: they sexed her up in the main roster. Look at the Naomi feud. They had her try to sleep with, seduce, what was it, Jimmy or Jay?
I think
Jimmy.
Yeah, no, wait a minute. Who?
Jimmy's married to Naomi.
Right, Jimmy.
They had her. Here's the thing: they had her stripped to basically underwear and try to seduce Jimmy.
Number one, I could imagine how uncomfortable she could have felt. I could imagine how uncomfortable that was, and definitely Jimmy for sure.
Honestly, I think in hindsight, Mandy enjoyed it.
Well,
maybe
because look what she did. They got herself fired. Mandy enjoyed that crap.
But
like we said, Mandy doesn't need WWE. She doesn't.
Nah, she did invest her money right. She's pretty much set.
Yeah. You know what else doesn't need with WWE is Sasha Banks. She don't need it either.
Oh, trust me. Oh, actually, Todd, we're actually going to talk about that a little bit on the show on Thursday, because we did see a couple of reports. I mean, she's possibly, it could be. Well, like I said, I don't know exactly how true this is, but I mean, from what Tyler's we talked or showed in the group chat, not the Twitter group chat, but there's reports that Sasha Banks might show up in AEW. Possibly.
Honestly, yeah, there's reports.
I would have no problem with that. I think AEW would be a good spot for her. Honestly, I think she.
Yeah, I feel like AEW would be a great spot for her.
Because I mean, and I can understand why.
The problem is, I'd rather her be with another company than AEW, because you have so much talent in AEW.
I mean, you got Impact, you got New Japan.
For the love of God, quit signing talent. Just quit.
Yeah, but you could say something about WWE. They're signing everybody right now too. They're bringing
that's the problem I have with
They're overflooding their roster.
That's another problem.
Because the problem is, Tyler, there's no other company right now besides WWE and AEW that provide television rights that could put these talents on TV to overexpose them, that maybe aren't as popular as some of these other stars that are more well known. So you go to AEW and you go to WWE because they're the top promotions in the world right now, and they help putting these talents over. That's why they do it. Impact.
I get that, but you also have Impact. You're forgetting Impact.
Yeah, but Impact doesn't have the television deals like WWE and AEW have.
Yeah, because they're stuck on Access TV
and TBS. Exactly.
Yeah, Access is fairly small. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And I think,
and also New Japan doesn't air on TV until Fridays, and then there are always reruns of past events.
Yeah, trust me, at like 5 o'clock in the morning, that no one wants to get up to watch the
rerun.
rerun.
No, it's not 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about reruns of past events.
What up, Mac?
That airs on like Friday at 8.
What up, Mac?
And
or Friday at 10, mind you, because it comes on after Impact.
Yeah.
No, Thursdays at 10.
And at times when I looked at it, why she got released from her, she asked for a release. It was money issues, because she was because the fact that
she felt like she wanted to have the same money as a Becky.
Yeah, she wanted to be paid on the same level as Becky and Charlotte.
And I can't blame her for that.
And here's the thing, I don't blame her. She deserves to get paid.
I mean, the fact that
Becky, like a Charlotte.
Hell, I think even Bianca's getting paid at top tier money at the same time.
Yeah. And
you know the great thing about it too? If she goes to AEW, she will instantly become the top.
No, she's going to instantly get the bag.
She's going to be the top star with Britt Baker in that company. And
she's getting her bag. She is definitely going to get her bag. Like, look,
and she's
Soraya's getting her bag. if Sasha goes, she'll get her bag.
Trust for sure. Yeah, we just actually talked about that, Juice.
Dude, they don't even have the money to get a better venue.
Yeah, like it's like
they're not even they're basically bingo hall level now. They used to
They're
be
losing
like
all their
small
talent to
arena.
AEW and WWE.
I mean, and sometimes Ring of Honor, because I mean, if you looked at some of the talent that they had, could we also go to another Ring of Honor, like I said, WWE, AEW, or sometimes some of them are going over to New Japan.
Exactly.
Basically, Rob, I wouldn't say they go to Ring of Honor. It's basically just AEW.
All right, what now? Still,
Well, they'll come up with an AEW deal eventually. I think that, or a Ring of Honor deal. I think just Tony Khan's waiting until next year, until he's able to get that big time television deal to have Ring of Honor.
No, it's already been revealed. He axed the TV deal. He's going to be just doing it on Honor Club, which is stupid.
Yeah, behind the basically pull the NWA. Basically,
it's basically you better pay like $9 a month if you want to watch Ring of Honor TV, which is stupid.
That's not going to work, especially with the amount of talent you have.
Not.
You got to have yourself
it really
a
isn't.
television company.
It's
you got to have
not.
a true television show because it can't be on
You
AEW.
got to. Yeah, you got to. But the problem, but the problem is that Warner doesn't like the Briscoes, and they made the Briscoes one of their champions.
So what? What's wrong with the Briscoes?
It's because
one
of what
said something.
It's because one of the Briscoes said something offensive like 10 plus years ago.
Oh, see, that's the problem.
Like, he's already apologized for it. He hasn't tweeted anything like that since. Enough.
It's like, but I can't disagree with that. I think the Briscoes is one of the better tag teams in the world.
They've been one of the best teams since like 2016, in my eyes, at least.
I mean, shit. I mean,
ooh, she used her hurt arm. Eesh.
I mean, honestly, why is this even a thing? I'll say that much. This match.
What?
Because there's nothing else they could think about doing right now, and the women's division is on SmackDown. The women's division is not good. All right, I'll look at the women's division right now on SmackDown. You got Tegan Knox back, you got Liv Morgan.
She's kind of floundering.
She is what she is. You brought back Xia Li. Shotzi Blackheart's out with injury, but she was really not going anywhere. Ronda Rousey. You have Shayna Baszler. You have Natalya, who's out with injury. I mean, you have Emma, who's in a love story right now with her real life boyfriend, Madcap Moss.
Which I'll put I didn't. Which at the time I didn't know.
Aaliyah.
So.
Do I have to say right there? Aaliyah, exactly. Aaliyah, Raquel Rodriguez. I mean, the women's division on SmackDown is not. Look at Raw. Raw at least has some potential. Bianca,
they got at least something.
Rhea, and Becky. Those three alone could be top stars on SmackDown, and those three are on the same brand. Then you got Candice LeRae, Io Sky, Dakota Kai. Yeah. You got
Here's the problem that I have. No, I get. Now I did wrongfully say that Io Sky and Dakota Kai were not used properly. In hindsight, they are. But the one problem that I have about the Raw women's division is Candice LeRae. She's not getting over.
None of them are.
Yeah.
None of the people have got. None of the women that have been signed have gotten over. None of them. All of them have been floundering.
It's because it's like they know because if you look away from the company for like a certain amount of time, normally people are going to be forgotten. Look at Emma; she has not been away from the company 5 years.
2017, yeah, and people are automatically going to expect her to remember who the hell Emma is. It's a new audience 5 years ago.
Yeah, wrestling has changed in the last 5 years.
The only people that know Emma is the woman that puts her fingers in the air dancing with bubbles.
Hey,
oh my god, that was the worst gimmick ever.
About that.
What was that dance? She was like using the
something. I don't know exactly what it was, but
it wasn't really pointing. She had her hands like this half the time. Like
it was over. It was over in NXT. Everybody loved Emma in NXT. She was one of the biggest stars and one of the faces of that women's revolution. It was her and Paige that really started it all. And then they killed her
I
character.
remember
when she
the
was
Probably the
wrestler.
worst thing they could ever done to her was do that Emelina bullshit. Does anybody remember that bullshit?
Dude,
Yeah,
they
I
were
remember.
starting. They had the vignettes for like months, and then they had her come out in a dress and said "psych" and walked out.
I was like,
Well, when
what?
she debuted as when she was the heel with like the glasses and the
Yeah.
black lipstick and like that,
Because it
heel
looked
bitchy
really good on her.
personality, it was
That
good.
was cool.
It really put her over. She looks good in that gimmick, and then they just didn't go forward with it, and then they just lost interest in her and they let her go. I mean, Triple H will do her right, but I mean, is the crowd going to care about Emma? That's the thing.
Probably not. It's sad because I even still like Emma to this day. I think she's still a spectacular
Dude, I
performer.
liked when she was Tennille Dashwood for Ring of Honor and Impact. She was really good there too.
Yeah, she killed it in both of those companies.
She's a great wrestler. She's a great wrestler,
Awesome
but the question is, can she get over? That's the biggest problem with everybody in this women's division right now is can they get over with the crowd? None of them are. Tegan Knox, Emma, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Mia Yim, Candice LeRae.
Bailey has dead reaction.
Because nobody cares about you. The problem with Bailey is the damage control group is killing them because she keeps losing every single second to Bianca Belair, and she's really viewed as a loser. And nobody cares about Dakota and Io because they come off as boring. They come off as not exciting, boring sidekicks that keep losing. They friggin' lost their championships the week on Crown Jewel, and then you give them the titles right back? That made no sense.
It really did.
I don't care about Jade Cargill in WWE. I think Jade Cargill's
honestly
overrated.
like me. I've actually always I think Jade Cargill is a decent talent, but if you put on a belt on her, she's
overrated to me.
Yes,
they gave her the championship run stale.
And that's right. That's what I was about to say because it was
make her drop the title already. Dang.
Like, and how many times can she say, "I'm that bitch"? All right, we get it. We know.
Like we know that. You know,
or her just keep constantly yelling at Tony to cut shit. Like enough. It was funny in the beginning. Now it's not funny.
It really isn't.
It was never funny to me. Jade Cargill is horrendously overrated. She's horrendously overrated, a performer.
That I can't disagree with because I mean
I can't disagree either.
I mean the fact that they brought in Bow Wow at one point, like
dude, you made Bow Wow look like a creep. This whole entire story.
That's like what?
Oh, I want to take you out on a date. I want to do this.
When I watch that, like, did I just go back in time into where like just I don't know exactly. Well,
that's the problem is that neither AEW I think has a more talented women's roster than WWE at this point. The problem is Tony Khan has no idea what the hell to do with those talents.
No, that is true.
But here's the thing that makes it so bad is that you made Bow Wow like a damn creep. Oh, I want to take you out on a date. I want to do this. I want to do that. Jade Cargill already has a man, and I believe he has a wife.
Well, that's Tony Khan.
And you're sitting there being
that's Tony Khan's fault, not knowing how to book this storyline together.
It's terrible.
It's just it's painful to watch, and it's just a shame because AEW's women's division has potential, but Tony Khan has no idea what the hell he's doing when it comes to that.
I swear, I think Dusty Rhodes God rest his soul, if he didn't pass away, things could have been a lot different. I mean, the way that how the track record that Dusty Rhodes has had as as a booker, I mean, like, I think he
honestly, if he was alive, I would actually appoint him as booker of AEW
because I mean, I think he knows potential when he sees it. I mean, I mean, shit. I mean, you have it. Two of his sons are probably going to go down as one of the greatest of all time in that regard. Dustin Rhodes. I mean, another guy that's had a 30-year career, which is fucking crazy to think about. Even though, granted, in the 90s, it's a different time, but the Goldust character was, I think, at the time was very interesting at the time when it came out or was debuted. Now, could it at least be worse than 2001 when
Juice, no. I don't want Brandy Rhodes near a ring ever.
Well, there's been rumors that she might be wrestling.
Oh dear God, help me.
She's thought about coming back to wrestle for WWE.
Oh dear God.
I would rather have Cody wrestle than anything else.
Well,
Dude,
Cody's. I can't wait till Cody gets back.
Dude,
I'm so excited when Cody comes back.
He is going to
get a massive pop.
He's going to be back at the Royal Rumble. Everybody knows he's going to be back at the Royal Rumble, and I'd still have him win it. And then
I have him win that too.
Either way you guys put it, Cody Rhodes is going to be in a championship match at WrestleMania.
That is absolutely true.
Is it going to be for the WWE Championship or is it going to be for the Universal Championship? That's the question. Is he going to face Seth or is he going to face Roman?
I think what's going to happen is, the story calls for it. Cody wants to do something his father never did, and that's win the WWE title. He doesn't want anything to do with the Universal title though, because his father never wanted to win that because that never existed when his father was around wrestling.
Yeah.
So I feel like he would be after WWE Championship.
But here's the thing, though. If you're going to have Cody Rhodes, what happens if The Rock can't wrestle at WrestleMania? Who is right now a big enough name to take on Roman Reigns and take him down?
I would say Seth Rollins at that point.
But I would say Seth Rollins is going to be having – Seth Rollins is the most over guy right now on Raw, and you probably want to give him the other championship.
That's what I'm saying. If you just – because at this point, just split the damn belts for crying out loud.
Well, we've all been saying that, but how are you going to get that belt off Roman? That's the thing.
Yeah. Because right now he's over 800 days, and the record is over to almost 2,800, which is held by the late great Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah,
and that's 8 years of a championship reign. Who would have thought that could even be possible? But just. That's a tough one though. I mean, Cody, yes, I can see the WWE title, but the Universal title should never been in existence in the first place.
Should stay the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, it should have been the big gold belt.
Yeah,
I've always said that since they announced that stupid looking title in 2016.
Well, they actually made an announcement that they're thinking about adding another championship. I wonder if it's the Cruiserweight belt coming back, or they're going to bring back the long forgotten European Championship.
See, the European title, I've always actually really enjoyed.
I wouldn't mind the European title coming back
because
I would not mind that.
Because you could really, yeah. It's just like feeling
the two titles that make sense though. The European title, or what about this? How about a mid-level, mid-card women's championship?
I wouldn't mind it either.
I would not mind that either.
And it gives more women more opportunities.
Exactly.
So it can bolster that women's division.
Exactly. You got multiple feuds out there for other women to have, but the fact that they were talking about other championships being involved, or like Triple H adding another championship.
Oh, shit! Holy shit!
What?
She's back! Holy fuck!
Oh, it's Charlotte!
So she's just using her dad's theme?
Apparently so.
She's got new gear.
I'm digging her new gear. I love it.
And she's a baby face now.
So Charlotte is back, and she's taking on Ronda and Shayna.
Honestly, I don't mind it. Charlotte, take the title from her, please.
See, I would rather deal with fucking Charlotte.
This is the only time you get a pass winning a title. Take it.
She's kind of acting like her dad's mannerisms a little bit. The way that she's coming down she went to go.
You hear her theme? It's not the remix version. It's her dad's theme.
Well, I don't have it. Well, I have my thing muted because of copyright reasons.
Yeah, I'm mid with Charlotte.
Or no, it's a remix version.
I'm honestly over Charlotte.
Look, Charlotte's not. Wait, I can't disagree with that. Look, I'd rather have Charlotte as champion than Ronda Rousey. At least Charlotte can give you what you
can actually wrestle. That's the thing.
She can wrestle.
Ronda can't wrestle a lick. Charlotte can't.
To be honest, I could have deal with either one of them not being champion because I'm sick of Charlotte too. She wins the
I think that's also a good, decent argument. But at some point, what else do you have to lose? You don't have anybody else.
Challenge her to a match at Royal Rumble.
Dude, she's bad everywhere. Dude, Juice, she's bad everywhere. The mic, the in-ring work, everything. She can't even mean
a Royal Rumble match.
She can't even
she wants her now.
Juice, can I say something? Juice, can I say something? She can't even mean mug right. She looks fake mean mugging.
I feel like the only one who
Ronda
could pull off
Rousey sucks.
She's terrible. She's crap. Honestly, Charlotte, please take the title from her. Please.
or at least just kick her ass.
Or beat her up to a blood. I don't care. Beat her up to a bloody pulp. Have her.
Oh
lose,
shit! We're gonna
have her lose a loser leaves match, please.
Wow.
And Shayna's trying to bag Ronda Rousey out of it.
That's kind of a weird choice of words. I'm feeling spicy.
Pause.
Yeah, major pause on that. I'm feeling spicy.
Oh, here we go. Oh, Charlotte with a quick 2.5.
Juice, I hope so. Juice, I really hope so.
And a big boot to Shayna
What?
Baszler.
Oh, she just kicked her. 1.
What?
2.
Hey, I'll take the.
Dude.
What?
If she publicly
kidding me.
Dude,
at least it's kidding me.
At least it's not on Ronda.
Kidding me.
At least it's not on Ronda.
Oh my God! They gave Charlotte the belt back.
Who cares?
Wow.
At least it's not on Ronda.
Wow!
She just female Brock Lesnar'd her.
She just buried Ronda Rousey on her first night back.
She deserves to get buried.
Me.
She sucks. Go
Wow.
bury her. Bury her like 10 feet under. I don't care.
Are you kidding me?
Let's go. Got the belt off of goddamn Ronda.
Wow.
Who sucks.
Bro, I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that either. I thought it was just.
Honestly, I don't care. I really don't care. Ronda doesn't have the belt.
I'll say this too. Like, it's just like, is it just because why does it feel weird that she's a baby face? But it's just, I don't know.
Because she was never really she was a decent baby face, but she was a better heel. That's the reason why.
But I mean, the fact that she gets a nice pop too, which is great as well.
It's because here's the thing. I don't mind her being a champion, but space them out half the time. Space them out, man.
Well, here comes your match at Royal Rumble. It's going to be Rousey and Charlotte at Royal Rumble for the Women's Championship. That's your match at Royal Rumble.
If she drops the belt to Ronda, I'm going to be so mad because I don't want Ronda as champion ever.
Nobody does at this point.
I could care less about either one of this because, I mean, Charlotte as champion is brutal too. I mean, to be honest, I don't want to see her as champion anymore either. But you know, I'll take Charlotte as bad as it is. I'll take Charlotte over Ronda any day of the week.
Yeah, at least she can wrestle. Ronda can't.
But not to mention too, Charlotte can wrestle and she can deliver a great promo.
Yeah, she can deliver some good promos.
Something must be up because there's been plans teased about Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch facing each other at WrestleMania. Unless something happened and Ronda's either banged up or something happened beyond the scenes or they're throwing her on the Raw brand, I don't understand this move. I don't get it. But that's insane.
Yeah.
So we get a return on the last Smackdown of the year. Charlotte Flair's back.
Charlotte's titty
and she is the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah, but the only problem I have with it, fellas, is how does this help you going forward? Because you're not building any new stars. You're putting the title back on the person that's always had the championship, and that's Charlotte. What about some other people you want to try to get them the championship? Like some of these other young stars that are asking for it.
The problem is all those young stars got beaten by Ronda, so the story is that everybody's been beaten by Ronda. That's the problem. They've handicapped every other wrestler.
Can they beat Charlotte? Charlotte's pretty much like the right underneath Ronda Rousey. She's like another god in the women's division.
Yeah,
I can see somebody beating her.
Yeah, you could definitely make the argument for that.
The
question is
the problem is they don't want. She can give you a good match. Ronda can't. So they're trying to do a thing. I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to fix everything because the SmackDown Women's division sucked at pay-per-views when Ronda was champion. Sucked.
I mean, that's something that's kind of well documented.
At least Charlotte could give you like
At
good
least
matches.
yeah.
But Ronda can't. Ronda sucks.
I got a bad. I don't know why. I just had this bad feeling. Do you think there's any way possible they can go back to what they did a few years ago and have Ronda versus Charlotte versus Becky at WrestleMania? We do a rematch of that triple threat? Because Charlotte's the champion. Charlotte's the champion. You have Ronda Rousey that's going to be going back after that championship. And then Becky Lynch, she's probably going after Ronda or Charlotte, whoever the women's champion is over there. Because the Raw Women's Championship, you might as well lock it up, is Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. You might as well lock that up. Just give me
the Raw
Women's Championship on Raw.
I could definitely see that. Because I mean, I think
honestly,
it's happening. I think it's 100% happening.
If they're gonna insert Ronda into a match, period, whether it's a triple threat or a singles match at WrestleMania, just put that on the pre-show because I'm not gonna want to watch that on the main show.
I think no. I mean, I've seen like worse matches on like actual pay-per-view shows. It's like, why is this even on here? Like, why is it not on the pre-show? Like,
there's been good matches on our pre-show that should have been on the main show, and bad matches on the main show that should have been on the pre-show.
I was like, what the hell is this?
Like, oh my gosh.
But I mean, damn.
That had to been a Triple H call behind the scenes because that one was out of left field. I mean, not only does Charlotte come back on SmackDown,
that was inaudible,
but she gets that championship from Ronda Rousey. I mean, that was
that was clearly inaudible.
Because I feel like Jeff said, I think there's something behind the scenes that we don't know about with this impromptu title change.
I bet you amount of money it's because Ronda's starting her crap again. I bet you that's probably why.
With all the back and you know, like she's got terrible backstage heat.
She's got so much heat. She's had heat since like 17, 18?
Something like that.
Well, I didn't know she had backstage heat. I didn't know she had
major heat.
I mean, if you think of the last before she left, she used to try to start shit with most people behind the scenes.
Here's the thing: when she didn't get her way the first time, she was starting crap with fans, and then she's starting to crap with people backstage. She's already had heat. This is continuing.
Because she's not a wrestler. She's an MMA fighter who transitioned into wrestling. So she thinks she's larger than life because she's the most noticeable figure in the WWE right now in that women's division. Charlotte and Becky are second and third right now. So she feels like that she could, do no wrong there. And she could say whatever she wants. It's not going to affect them.
Yeah, exactly. She thinks she's high and mighty because they put her in that top spot.
Well, I hate to say it, but Charlotte Flair had the same thing. She was thinking she was all high and mighty
at one point. Yeah,
Charlotte was starting to really anger me when she started throwing the title at Becky and stuff. I didn't like that.
Charlotte's the same way. Charlotte's one of those greedy people as well, where she just wants to be the champion. She's not willing to build up everybody else. And she's a big star. She's got that Ric Flair in her a little bit, so that's why I'm not as thrilled with
I can see. I can see why. I can see why that you don't like Charlotte as
champion. There's a problem. Ronda buried that entire women's division this entire time, beating everybody, squashing everybody, and then Charlotte Flair, who's been gone since this spring, all of a sudden comes back and she beats Ronda Rousey in a matter of minutes, like a couple of minutes, and she pretty much takes the title off Ronda. How does that make the rest of the division look when you have Charlotte Flair come back after missing all this time when Ronda is destroying the SmackDown women's division, and you have Charlotte come back and beat her in literally 2 or 3 minutes in her first appearance back after months? That's not a good look for the women's division. I hate to say it.
It really is not a good look.
It makes the rest of the women's division look like they're 1,000% incredibly inferior to Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. That's just these two on this brand, and that everybody else is just there.
And also, I feel like this also stems to the fact too. I could be reading this wrong, but maybe Triple H is probably starting to be fed up with Ronda's shit at times.
Charlotte too. I'm telling you, Charlotte's going to start getting that bad rep too. It's going to happen with her.
Oh yeah. You know what?
I'm going to get sick of her championship reign in a couple of weeks.
You know what? I can actually. That does seems a possibility.
Because Rob, think about it. You had your women's division, which has been dominated by Ronda Rousey since she won that I Quit match all the way back in the spring against Charlotte. Now, I get it. Charlotte wanted to have revenge against Ronda after Ronda beat her for that championship. But then all of a sudden, you have Charlotte come back after all this time when Ronda's destroying that women's division, and you have her come back, and in a matter of 2 minutes, you have Ronda Rousey get rolled up and pinned for the championship. How do you think the rest of that women's division feel? As much as you all love Triple H, how do you think the rest of those women in that division feel?
They feel like crap. They feel pretty angry about it. Like, look, we could have been the champion. We could have been the champion, but you have somebody who's had countless opportunities win the title again.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
So yes, I do see your point.
Now that, of course,
this was funny.
Yeah, I have to admit, this was really good. I love what they're doing with this whole Rey Mysterio, Dominic, and Rhea. You know what I like it too? Because they're on separate brands, but you're keeping this feud fresh because they're going to revisit it when they get to WrestleMania. So I like the fact that they're keeping it sort of fresh with these like little vignettes and backstage stuff they're doing. You know, like these little segments
I think
they're
it's
doing.
Genius.
I love it. It keeps the feud
And
fresh.
they're not just doing it. And they're not just doing it on like backstage stuff. They're doing it on social media via this.
Exactly. It keeps it.
And
it
it's funny too.
Fresh.
After this, WWE actually made a T-shirt actually having his face with the bars on a T-shirt. Says "I didn't do it" or whatever. I don't know exactly what the phrasing was on the T-shirt. Like how petty do you have to be to put Dominic's face behind bars on a T-shirt? But I mean,
you know what should be on this shirt? It should.
And speaking of which,
hold on, it should be
this garbage.
You know what it should
Charlotte Flair won the title.
Yeah,
but dude, you know what should be on a shirt, Rob?
What?
It should be Dominic's face, like behind the bars, looking out, and it should say "Get me out, mommy."
I think that's what it said.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Mitch, you, Jeff was the same way. It's just like we all looked at each other and say, "What the fuck just happened?"
Honestly, I'm just relieved that Ronda doesn't have the belt.
Whoa! Top dollar, Ricochet. Okay,
dude. What do you mean? Sixers you're beating us by 5.
Okay.
He's a Pelicans fan.
Oh, look who's here. Imperium.
Oh dear God. Take them off. No. Yep. This backstage segment is so stupid.
You know what's not stupid? Imperium. They're not stupid.
Imperium.
They are awesome. They look so good as a trio.
They are far from stupid.
You won't pay money to take a job from Gunther. I'm sorry. There's no money in the world. I mean,
his name is Walter. It's not Gunther.
No, I actually don't mind the Gunther name. I
don't either. But the reason why I don't mind it is because Gunther wanted it. He wanted the change from Walter to Gunther.
Yeah, but you know where the name came from?
Well, yeah, Mitch, you also realize too, like,
Gunther's path to destruction.
No. Jeff, you know where his name came from?
What?
It was a Nazi general.
No, they tried to do the last name thing, but then they realized, oh, that's the name of a Nazi soldier, so we're just going to get rid of that last name.
Plus, I mean, why?
It's still the same thing if you think we're the last name.
No, it is not. There's a billion people named Gunther, dude.
It's not a common German name.
Anyway, Tyler, I'm glad you like the Twitter banner.
Dude, it's sick, bro. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no
problem. I'll say this too, though. It's just like, plus, why would it, like, and I can see why with the name change, like, I don't want to put my government name getting trademarked. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Which does make sense.
That's the reason why that's the reason why there's a lot of these name changes. Is because they don't want their government name or their outside ring name. Yeah, they want trademarks.
I don't know if you saw this, but the trademark for Santino is already up from WWE.
Yeah.
From Santino?
Yeah, his trademark is up.
Santino Marella?
Yeah, that trademark.
What do you mean Santina Marella?
Oh God! Don't remind. Don't.
Oh, no,
That's
when-
the
when he-
one memory
when-
I want to fucking
dude,
forget.
When he hijacked the women's battle royal at Mania.
I'm curious to see what everybody says on Twitter right now about Charlotte becoming women's champion. I'm
Twitter's
sure a lot
gonna
of
go
people,
off.
Charlotte, a lot of people might not be happy. They're probably not, like the casual
I
fans
feel like-
might be
I
happy,
feel like-
but I don't think a
I-
lot of fans are gonna be happy with her coming back
I
and winning the
feel-
championship.
I feel like the way the reaction was in the arena and probably the reactions outside will probably be more split in a sense.
Yeah, it'd be like 50-50.
It's probably
Yeah.
more positive because everybody couldn't stand Ronda Rousey as champion, but
Which-
giving it to Charlotte doesn't help. That's not an improvement. It's a little bit better, but not really. Like you
It's
said,
like-
you just buried the rest of your women's division for Charlotte.
What was Ronda Rousey? I wasn't watching it. Was Rousey issuing an open challenge?
No,
No, Charlotte came back and challenged her
Here's
for a
the
women's
thing.
championship match at tonight, and she
Just
just
like
accepted
that.
it.
No open
Yeah,
challenge.
just came back. She came back. She challenged her women's championship tonight. Ronda accepted, and then she literally just booted both her and Shayna. She went for her spear. Rousey countered it into the armbar, and then Charlotte Flair rolled her up and pinned her for a victory. That's it.
And it was
like
over
2
like
minutes.
that.
It was like 1.5.
It was
2
basically
minutes.
what happened. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
essentially, she just buried Ronda Rousey, which in turn buried the rest
the
of
rest
the
of the women's division.
I
Which
don't like it.
I do get Jeff's. I see Jeff's point now.
I do see it, so I'm not as happy as I was when she did win it, because I was thinking at face value, like, thank God Ronda doesn't have the title. But
Because it
I
makes
didn't
the rest of
think
your
of it.
women's division. You just
Look,
pretty
it
much
looked weak.
said that the rest of your women's division is not on the level of Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, that they're bigger than everybody else. Period.
Yeah.
That's what you just said. And we get
Yeah.
it. Certain stars are going to be bigger than others. But you just made Charlotte, who's been gone since what? April?
I think March or April, somewhere in that time
yeah,
frame.
like after Mania she left.
Just come back out of nowhere when you have all these other people that have been there competing against Ronda Rousey, and Rousey's been kicking their ass, every single one of them. Doesn't matter who it is. Liv Morgan, Shotzi Blackheart, Raquel Rodriguez, Xia Li, Aaliyah, whoever it is. And you just had Charlotte come back in a matter of a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and she just wins the championship right back like that. How does that look for the rest of your division?
Looks
It
bad.
pretty much is like and
Looks
Triple H. This is a Triple H thing. So tonight, I'm not very happy about it because I feel for the rest of those women, unless this is like part of a bigger plan. But I get it. Charlotte and Rousey are bigger stars and much bigger stars than the rest of the women in that division. Period.
I mean, and Jeff, like you said, to your point, the women's division isn't the best. So I mean, you have to deal with what you got.
This was great. This was the best thing on the show so far with this Uncle Howdy LA.
Oh, absolutely.
This was by far the best thing on the show tonight on SmackDown. I love this. I freaking love LA Knight. I love LA
And
Knight.
Sheamus to Solo Sikoa match wasn't bad.
That was
No,
good.
the Solo
That
Sikoa
was
match was
good,
really good.
but this was incredible. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, that
Now
beginning
now they
segment was just so great. It wasn't even good, it was great.
It's just well.
Like, oh my God, that segment had a twist at the end too.
I was like, what the hell?
It was so good.
I wonder when they're finally going to reveal who Uncle Howdy is.
I said, who?
But like we said, you, Jeff, and Rob, we all agreed it's Bo.
It's Bo. I mean,
It's Bo.
the height.
It's
It's the
Bo.
height. You can definitely. Someone pointed out he had a
There you
cross
go.
ear.
Pitch Black match officially at Royal Rumble Saturday, January 28th, and I'm ecstatic for that. I've never seen a Pitch Black match in my life. This is going to be
It's probably basically going to be this lighting, but a match.
I can't wait.
It's probably what's going to be.
I think Royal Rumble is going to be great.
Royal Rumble's going to be sick.
You're gonna miss it, Rob.
Well, unfortunately, I have to work. I work every single goddamn Saturday, which is the sad part.
Change your schedule.
he's never
Make it a Friday.
He's
I
almost
can't.
yeah, he's almost
you can't change
never
your schedule just for one day.
I can try to take off that day if I can.
Yeah, he's almost
Royal
never
Rumble, this is
available
going to be
for-
the best Royal Rumble in years with Triple H in charge. Years.
Thing is, too, Jeff, I work at a nursing home as a trash guy.
All right, well, then I understand.
I'm on a set schedule so that
Well, I'm sure they wouldn't mind if you give them like something in advance, so at least they know.
If I could put the advance in for taking the day off, I would do that and hop on with you guys for Royal Rumble, because I'm really interested. It's like, what surprises are we going to get? Because for me, I feel like if you want to review Uncle Howdy, for me, I say wait till Mania. That's what I would do. At least try to keep this marinated as long as you possibly can, and then you pull the trigger. That's just how I would do it.
As long as possible, figure out who it is. They can wait as long as possible, and I would not mind it at all. I would love it.
Oh yeah, definitely Avakazi. I'll definitely. That's my another fellow wrestling fan, child from Australia.
How you going,
Yeah,
John?
you can come on in, brother. Pay your taxes. Man, don't worry. I can't pay taxes.
I know I do.
I already paid rent enough as it is, man. I ain't paying no taxes.
I got you, Avakazi.
Paying my taxes. Come on, bro.
Who's gonna be the lucky one to finally defeat Gunther?
Like who's gonna
finally
be
gonna take that title to get? Who's
Well,
gonna take that title of Gunther?
And I'm pretty sure IRS isn't even alive. So
no, he's still alive.
No, he's still alive. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he died.
No. Well,
No,
no. It's
what's
Braun.
happening? Damn.
Well, this was eventually on the horizon. Braun Strowman and Gunther for the title. Everybody wants this match.
This is going to be the worst hoss fight ever.
No, I actually think Strowman hasn't been that bad since he's come back.
Oh, that's good. Because I remember
I
his
would not
first
mind
one.
Strowman versus Gunther on either on a Smackdown or make it at the Rumble for the IC title. I actually wouldn't mind it.
Put it at the Rumble.
Also,
put the IC title on a pay-per-view. Put it on a pay-per-view.
I would. And not
that title hasn't been defended on a pay-per-view since what? Clash?
Since Clash of the Castle, I think it was. Between him and Sheamus.
Which was incredibly awesome, that match.
That was great. That was a great pay-per-view.
That was
That was maybe the best pay-per-view of the entire year.
It was. Especially at UK fans, y'all deserved it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Afakazi coming in, what up?
What's up?
How are we, guys?
Yeah, great.
Good.
How you doing?
So you're doing your live, talking wrestling, and
absolutely.
I thought it was about time.
I mean, shit. With the way the Sixers absolute stink, the Clemson bowl game is meaningless. But I mean, so far you really haven't missed much, other than the probably the best way to open off SmackDown, that the Bray Wyatt and LA Knight, and just that.
I only just called up, so I just switched it on just now. So did they open up the show LA Knight and Bray Wyatt?
Oh my God!
Brom was like, I'm not asking, I'm telling you, boy.
Oh!
You guys a fan of Braun Strowman?
I like him.
I'm okay.
I mean,
I'm all right.
I like Gunther. I like a lot better.
I like Gunther. Yeah. Gunther's good.
Yeah, Gunther.
I think he's done a lot for the United States title. Are they still calling it that?
They still have that. You just got the IC title.
Yeah, he's really made the Intercontinental title feel.
Is he the United States champion or the IC champion?
He's the IC champ.
Austin Theory is the United States.
Austin Theory is the US champ.
Yeah. Yes.
There you go, Imperium.
Choo choo.
Right. Smash him.
I want to see.
I'm up to the bit where he's giving him chair shots.
Yeah, I just got there too.
I think there might be like a 2-second delay on my end because I'm getting the feed further away from you guys.
Oh, right to the back.
How's the crowd responding to this right now?
Hot.
It's very a hot response.
Do you think that the WWE kind of punished Braun after his comments on Twitter about the flippy floppers?
Yes, because
that's a very good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Do you think he was set to win that International World Cup if it wasn't for the fact he came out and said those stupid things?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he was going to be the headliner for it, but it might have been also a way for Triple H to give a big win for Ricochet. Because how much they believe in him too.
Absolutely.
And speaking of Ricochet, there he is.
But I mean, because I know Offcast kind of popped in a little bit late. But me, Tyler, and Jeff, we were talking about who Uncle Howdy is. I mean, it's kind of really given. We don't know it's Bo Dallas.
Yeah, I think so. I
because
so too. Go on, go ahead.
Because for me, the height kind of gives it away. He does have that cross earring. I mean, who else wears that?
And also I picked up on it. If you hear the theme song, the lyrics say "Die for me, brother." It has to be both.
Did Uncle Howdy make an appearance before?
I think 3 weeks ago. I think it was.
He made his first.
Hang on a second. My cousins are on the screen. I'm half Samoan, so it's a joke.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
And now we get the 6-man tag match coming up next.
But just in regards to what you said about Uncle Howdy, I hope it's Bo Dallas. I think that the guy is talented. He just kind of got stuck with
absolutely
kind of gimmicks in his time with the WWE, and he, to my knowledge, once he got released, he stepped away from professional wrestling. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he kind of did step away. And just kind of.
I like the Bo Leave gimmick. I actually thought that was amusing.
I thought it was pretty decent.
He was okay, but there was only so far he was going to go with that.
Yeah,
you could go so far with that because I think the tide was also turning as well because like shifting to like different like gimmicks and whatnot. And no one's really going to get over. Not to mention this too.
Yeah, the whole Bo Leave thing was over in NXT and then just died in the main roster. Everybody knew it was going to die in the main roster because it was a stupid gimmick.
Or remember when he got stuck with B Team with Axel with
B Team was so over. They just screwed with him with that one. That was over.
I just think it's about time that he aligns himself with Bray and see what they can do, giving him a darker, serious gimmick rather than.
It's just like a comedy
silly
cheesy
little
character.
Gimmick that, like he did okay, but like there's only so far you can go with that. I think this more serious dark side of Bo Dallas can show a little bit better how far his range is, if that makes sense. And I think it's a good opportunity for him. I think it's about time.
Yeah,
they need to give him like a good return introduction too, because the one problem with the WWE recently is they're just throwing people on television that are coming back, and none of the casuals know who these people are, and that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of these people are not getting the responses that WWE might have been hoping for, is because WWE doesn't. The fans nowadays don't know who a lot of these people are because they've been away for a while. They're on NXT, and it's a different audience. The NXT, from the
absolutely.
So they got to introduce these people from time to time to let everybody know who they are.
Remember the pop Emma had when she came back?
Yeah, I mean the pop.
Yeah, just
Candice LeRae. Nobody knew who Candice LeRae is. Mia Yim, Tegan Knox, Io Sky, Dakota Kai.
It was just horrible.
Women have come back, have not really gotten any type of reaction. Braun, Bray. They've probably been the biggest ones out of like all the true returns.
I think Bray got the biggest response.
And Gargano too. Gargano got a good return when he came back.
Gargano had a good pop.
When did he come back?
Gargano came back.
Gargano. I thought you said Cardano. I thought you were talking about.
He's probably next. Cardona and Chelsea Green are probably on the way at Royal Rumble.
We've been hearing. I mean, if you looked at how Matt Cardona and Chelsea Green, they've been teasing the living shit out of the potential return. Mostly Matt Cardona, anyways.
And Chelsea Green has canceled her OnlyFans account all of a sudden, so that's a very telling sign.
That's a huge tell.
That's not something I only know about that because I listen to podcasts, not because I don't get twisted.
Yeah, we actually got
to. No, you're good. You're not thinking that way. You're good. You're thinking that way.
Hey, if I was into that thing, I'd be open to saying it. But that's how I do.
You're good. You're good. But yeah, that was a huge tell when she got rid of her OnlyFans account. She was coming back. That was a tell.
Yeah, if you connect the dots, I mean, that's a very lucrative money-making side gig for a lot of these. I mean, look what happened with Mandy Rose once she got released.
2 weeks from now,
so
Braun
for me
Strowman versus
personally,
Goldberg
it's
for
just
the IC title
telling.
2 weeks from tonight.
Honestly, I think that may be a good match.
I wouldn't mind it.
And you got the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, the Usos taking on McIntyre and Sheamus. That's 2 weeks, or that's next week.
Ooh.
I don't see the Usos losing their titles until WrestleMania. I think that's when.
I agree.
When
Rob,
Sami
guess
Zayn
what
will get
just
kicked out
happened?
of the bloodline, then align himself with
I just
Kevin
saw
Owens,
that.
and I believe that's when
Hold
they'll
on.
be the ones to take the titles away. I mean,
Yeah.
it just makes more sense.
And it's going to be
Hey,
a
Rob.
qualifying match for the Royal Rumble next week between Top Dollar and Ricochet.
Hey, Rob, guess what just happened?
What's that?
The Philadelphia Eagles just made their WWE debut.
Yeah, I saw that. And
Damn.
guys, I didn't even get your thoughts on this. What do you think about Dragon Lee signing with WWE going to NXT?
Yeah.
I heard about that earlier this week. I got to be honest, I've only seen little. Sorry, that's my niece. I only seen little bits of him. I think in AEW. I think he made an appearance, but I don't know too much about Dragon Lee.
He was mostly
I am pretty knowledgeable when it comes to wrestling, but with Dragon Lee, look, I hope that he can connect and get over. I mean, how many times have we seen these luchadors coming in, especially the masked ones that get either mistreated or they just can't get over with the fans and they don't
throw the
turn out the way
wayside.
that they have previously in other promotions. So hopefully Dragon Lee can be there.
Yeah.
Here comes Cena.
God, who remembers when fucking Paul Heyman decided to do that? It's like, what the hell are you doing, Paul?
Honestly, I thought it was funny because I'm like, that's relatable because I did that all the time.
I don't really saw like it's just.
Sorry about my niece in the back.
Oh no, she's a star. She's a star already.
Yeah, talking
Made her
about
a star.
Future diva. Do you even call them that anymore?
The champ is here.
Is this his first live appearance this year? I know he came.
Yep.
It's
This is his first appearance back.
There he is.
Since what?
This year?
What since? No, not since what? No, not SummerSlam.
Oh my God! Listen to the pop.
You know what would be something? I'm just throwing this out there. Is it when are they tagging him and Kevin Owens? When do they tag to fight? Tonight.
Yeah.
Right now? Okay.
Right now.
You know what would be something? If Cena turned on Owens and finally had a heel turn run. That would be so good.
Yeah.
That would be so good.
I would be so hyped.
Pop is insane. Pop is it's John Cena is just friggin' everybody that took advantage of John Cena when he was in his prime. I mean, the dude is one of the greatest of all time.
Oh yeah,
for sure. He's in the hall after this. He's in the hall.
Not just that, so look at all the out of the ring stuff he's done for the company too. With the dude's got like more Make-A-Wishes than anybody else, any other celebrity who has done Make-A-Wish.
He's good to the fans. The fans are good to him. It's just.
I'll give you another hot take. I have never seen anybody out promo The Rock. Other than
that would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he has done that.
Like, remember when they had their
back
little
in
exchanges?
2011. Yup, I agree.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
If I'm gonna be honest, Cena won the promo battle between the two.
Cena is, people underestimate how good of on the mic John Cena is. The dude, he might come off very simplistic because of the fact, he says the same things over and over again, but nobody can cut a more passionate and intense promo than John Cena has. John Cena is easily one of the best on the mic that this company has ever seen. And even when he comes back, he still gets these monster reactions that not a lot of superstars get.
But do you remember when they were doing their promo exchanges? Like, he even had Rock kind of stuttering and fumbling his words when he was trying to retort.
And he actually called out. He had notes.
He had all that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go right to that because he called him out on it.
I'm a big Rock guy. I think he's the best in the business, but in that particular instance,
yeah, it was just bad. That was a bad look for The Rock.
It was bad. It was a real bad look.
That's an awesome image of the Bloodline. That is a really good image of the Bloodline altogether. And Solo Sikoa is becoming a favorite of mine very, very quickly.
I like that he's taking Umanga's move. The
spike. Yeah, that's his uncle.
Small and Spike. I love it.
Yeah.
And he's got that type of badass look, that enforcer badass look in this group where it fits in so well with everybody else. Like everybody has a good role in this Bloodline overall. And it's gonna make it. We said it when eventually Owens or when Zayn gets turned on by the Bloodline, it's gonna make it that much bigger because of how over the storyline is. That it's gonna make Sami Zayn a monster babyface going into WrestleMania when he teams with Kevin Owens for those tag titles. It's gonna be huge.
I think they were supposed to switch him earlier, but because of how hot that the storyline has been doing, it's the hottest thing going in wrestling. They decided to extend it. I mean, you know, I've never felt an emotional connection to a storyline for a while now, outside of this one with Sami Zayn.
That's true.
You know, remember Survivor Series when they all gave him that big hug, and then Jey Uso came up and hugged him like that, like.
I was like,
I know it's wrestling, but like, you know, it kind of made me feel some type of way seeing that. So
I was like, oh, this is gonna hurt worse.
Because I think that's the aim of it is that it's gonna hurt a lot when they do turn on him, and it's just a matter of time.
I think it's gonna happen at the Royal Rumble. I think that's what they're gonna
either the Rumble or the Chambers, one of those two. I'm going with Jeff on this one. I do think we might see it at the Rumble.
It's going to be Owens versus Reigns for the championship at the Rumble. So you figure that would be a place where you can maybe have the potential turning happen where Zayn isn't like in a conflicted position, and he's like, he's out there asked to attack Kevin Owens, and he just is hesitant to do it. So I think that's where they might have the confliction, but. The biggest question going into 2023 is how are they going to get that one championship off Reigns? Because the plan is they want to have both titles be defended in 2 separate matches, and Reigns is not in both of them. So how are you going to get that WWE championship off of Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania? That's the question right now.
I think at least for WrestleMania in itself, I mean, for me, what I'd like to happen and what if you connect the dots, what should happen is Cody Rhodes should be the one that wins the Rumble and takes the Raw title away from Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. But in regards to the Smackdown title, that's going to be an interesting.
That's be an interesting decision.
I don't know. I mean, is there really anyone on the Smackdown roster that can
Gunther?
I mean, because for me, the way that I see it, so if you're gonna, because I think Gunther, for me, I think is ready for the main title scene.
Yeah, but could you see him feuding with Roman Reigns?
I mean, not right now. Maybe like a little bit, but like because who's going to beat him for that IC title? That's the question.
Yeah,
is it Braun?
I think it'll be Sheamus at Mania. Sheamus will
I could see that. I could see that 100%.
Well, I don't know if you heard the rumors going on that apparently they're trying to set up either. It all depends on the availability of The Rock, but it sounds like it's going to be either Roman versus Cody or it's going to be Rollins versus Cody. They want to try to revisit the Rollins and Rhodes rivalry because of what happened when Rollins took him out. It's like, quote unquote, took him out with the injury. So they're going to revisit that, and they're going to probably put that title on Rollins, which I don't mind because Rollins, besides the Bloodline, has been the hottest thing in the WWE.
That and it's the second most thing that's most over in the company.
And he deserves to have a world championship. And
he's not held the world title since what?
As hot as Rollins is, like, could you see that though at Mania? Like him and Cody Rhodes again being the both faces?
Absolutely.
Well,
like I personally would rather Cody Rhodes goes for the world title, but that could happen. I could see that happening, but it's just one of those guys is going to have to turn heel. And
also because it would probably be Rollins. Rollins will probably be like a tweener. More of a heel, if anything, because you're not turning Cody Rhodes heel. When he comes back, he's gonna become a monster babyface. So
he's more of a tweener anyway. Currently,
yeah, he is. He's been like floating around that tweener type of role lately. So it makes sense for them to have Seth Rollins turn more of as a heel against Cody Rhodes, and you can just continue that storyline.
Absolutely, and. I mean, we're all going to know that he's going to have one of probably the biggest pops he's ever had. And this also sends to the fact that, if you can get guys that, fans still remember and, and this also ties to what Jeff said about, the women's division not getting any fucking crowd reaction. Cody, people know who Cody Rhodes was. And when he came back, like, I mean, you can't tell me you can't not get a bigger pop than that. Now, I got to say, I think that Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins is going to go down one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time. No, you can't not change my mind with that, with the torn pec. It's like
everybody thinks that because it won.
And it
won match of 2022.
And good and actually, it was funny because even Rollins, shout out to congratulations to him being voted number one wrestler according to Sports Illustrated, number one wrestler of the year.
I think MJF would have something to say about that.
Who would you say is number one?
I think Roman Reigns would be number one. But I think MJF has also kind of forced his.
Oh yeah, you know what?
MJF would be up there. That's true.
I think yeah.
But maybe they didn't put him up there because he missed all that time in between when he dropped that pipe bomb promo. And Rollins has pretty much been on television consistently as one of the top guys in WWE.
And
Roman,
and also Roman only shows up when he wants to show up. Anyway,
and I saw the results. It's like the Romans was fifth, and you had MJF was like close to second in the race.
I think Roman Reigns would be unequivocally number one. I mean, he doesn't wrestle too often, but the impact he's had on professional wrestling.
Now that I can get behind with. I mean,
you cannot deny Roman Reigns is it's not just a saying; he is the guy when it comes to professional wrestling at this time.
It is.
Going back to Cody Rhodes and Rollins, what I would personally like to happen would be Cody Rhodes would be the one who wins the title. I don't want to see him going back to Rollins yet. However, after he's won the title, I wouldn't mind seeing him and Rollins, if they are to revisit that feud, kind of feuding over the world title on Raw, if Reigns is going to be busy on SmackDown. That's personally what I would like to see. Because you're right, Rollins does deserve it now the year he's had.
Okay, Michael Cole, you just made me feel old. Thank you.
I've watched John Cena matches so much back in the 2000s.
He was
like John Cena's been in WWE for 2 decades. I'm like, thank you, Michael Cole, for making me feel old.
Yeah, we know that.
Same thing with Randy Orton, both of them. Randy Orton and John Cena have been in WWE for 2 decades.
It's gonna suck
John
when
Cena. John Cena. Hold on. Randy, John Cena, Ray.
I forgot about Ray.
Ray Edge has been through what is it? 4 decades.
Edge has been there for 3. He's been there since '98.
Yeah, but 4 different decades.
4 different decades. Yeah.
Yep.
I think Ray actually started in the 80s, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. The late 80s.
No, Ray started in the 90s.
No, like coming up. Like I'm talking about before his WCW days. I believe he first got his start. Yeah.
Could have been late 80s.
Yeah. So that's 5 different decades. What is it? 80s, 90s.
He made his he made his debut in April 30th.
Wow, the crowd is going nuts right now for this. Are we gonna get Roman and Cena? We're gonna get Roman and Cena.
Oh shit!
We're getting a rematch.
Have they feuded before, Romans and Cena?
They fought at SummerSlam last year.
Championship.
Forgive me, I've always kept up to date with wrestling, but there has been times of late before Triple H took back over.
Wrestling has been kind of slow ever since when Triple H kind of took over.
It's been terrible before, like for the last decade and a half.
I guess so. And
really bad.
To answer your question with Rey Mysterio, he made his early debut in 1989. He's been in the business since almost 1990.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's been. Oh my God, we got some Cena chants going. Oh my goodness.
Are they bringing out the Let's Go Cena sucks chants?
I hope Cena comes in, tags in, and then cheap shots.
They're bringing.
They're not doing. Hold on. They're not doing Cena sucks. They're only doing Cena.
But can you imagine that if Cena finally turned heel? Oh God,
that would be very interesting. After
that would be an absolute mind screw.
I was like, you had this guy who's been a long time babyface, and then all of a sudden, boom.
You know what it would remind me of? Do you know what it would remind me of, guys?
What's that?
Hulk Hogan, 1996.
In the NWO, yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The value behind it would be
long-time
amazing.
babyface. No one thought that he would turn heel, and he turns heel.
John Cena was a spectacular heel.
Great American Bash.
Remember how good John Cena was as a heel when he was the Doctor of Thugonomics early.
Yeah,
he was.
He was heel, but for the most part of it, the duration of the highs of his career, he's been the number one babyface and a babyface, and just it would be really something for him to finally be able to turn.
Put it this way, Put it this way: since late 03, he's been face.
Well, you could do something like that now because Vince McMahon was against turning him heel because the fact that he was such a cash cow with the merchandise and with the Make-A-Wish stuff and everything like that.
Yeah, you want to have
now the fact he's a part-time
he's-
guy. If you want to pull off a John Cena heel turn, if he's ever going to come back for a little bit with his with his Hollywood schedule as crazy as it is, you could pull it off. You could turn him into a Hollywood Rock. Remember how good Hollywood Rock was? Remember how good
That's
the
exactly
Rock
what
was
I
when
was
he was
thinking.
Hollywood Rock? That was one of his best gimmicks he ever had.
The cockiness that came off of that was great.
That was one of the best
Or even
gimmicks Rock
corporate
ever
rock.
had.
Remember
I remember when he had his flip.
Yeah, Cobra Rock was amazing too.
That was great too.
I remember. Hold on. I remember when he came out with the flip phone. He was acting like he was talking to his assistant.
Yeah, I remember that. Do you remember? Do you remember the two promos? Remember the one when he went to Canada where it was like faster than a bear, stronger than a buck, the biggest thing to hit Canada because the Maple Leafs suck, and the from that.
Yeah,
You'll
remember.
never hear anything
Oh
like
boy!
And then I remember when he went to
that. I lost
Cleveland.
my
He said
shit when I heard
Cleveland
that. I
sucks.
watched that live.
Yeah.
I know what you can't tell me that The Rock didn't have the drip in the '90s better than anybody at the time.
Bro,
Do you remember his concerts as well?
Here's what I think.
Oh my
Here's
god,
what I
not The
think.
Rock! The Rock
Hold on,
concert.
Hilarious.
Rock
Hold on,
concerts
Rob.
were the best.
Hold on, Rob. Hold on. I feel like Ricky Stark stole that style. The
Yeah.
90s style from Rock.
So,
Another one is you can see a lot of influence in LA Knight as well.
yeah.
With the gold chain and everything.
LA Knight. I love
Hey, I
LA,
love LA
Knight.
Knight.
Yeah,
I
me and
love
Ty
that.
were just talking about this. It's like, thank God for Triple H to get him out of that Triple M
Oh,
bullshit.
Oh, the
Thanks,
best.
Thanks,
Even
Christ.
off of guys, he's like, exactly. When that first thing was
Dude,
appeared on screen,
Me
it's
and
like, what the
Me and Rob thought it was so bad that we just couldn't look away.
I was
bad
like,
it was.
what? The worst part is when they did like the summer swimsuit bullshit. It's like, what the hell is this?
Dude,
Like, no
Now
one.
that
Like,
was so bad I turned it off.
Man and Bruce Pritchard.
oh,
Yeah, you pretty
Pritchard's
much said
gotta
the names
go.
right
Haven't
there.
done.
well,
But even
curious
just the
to see how
little
much
things with
John
LA
Cena's
Knight. Do you
gonna
remember
wrestle.
that initial exchange he had with Bray Wyatt? And when he turned around, he said something along the lines of like, "You can take those little toys of yours and shove it up wherever gives you pleasure." You know what I mean? Just the delivery of it, I was just like, I want to see more of that, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Well, this is not
I know it's all,
not surprising,
I know-
but a lot of fans are not happy about Charlotte Flair winning the championship, which is what I
Oh.
felt before. I don't
Did
like
she
it.
win the title?
She did.
She won the
Oh, wow. I didn't see
championship.
that.
Yeah, she bared the living shit out of Ronda Rousey.
she
And
basically
the
jobbed
women's
out.
division.
She basically jobbed out Ronda.
I think the other thing is that didn't Ronda come out in some interviews? I heard that she wants to focus on tag team wrestling, especially like now that she's aligned with Shayna Baszler. So
I haven't heard about
that
that.
could be it too.
I haven't heard
She
about that
wants to
either.
Shift the focus and be more of a tag team with Baszler. So that could also be it as well.
I did hear that she wanted to be trying to go for those tag team championships, which maybe it might make a little bit more sense because the women's tag team championships are as dead as anything. I mean,
Yeah.
those titles are useless.
Very irrelevant at the moment.
and also too, she can get carried by Shayna
Because Shayna's
in
is
matches.
because I feel like there's like just some MMA fighters that just can never cut in the ring, and we see some that just actually make that transition like so easy.
Matt Riddle,
Matt Riddle,
Matt
Ken
Riddle's-
Shamrock.
Matt Riddle's so good. Ken Shamrock was really good.
Well, at least you don't piss them off, but that's just oof,
The what's his face? Damn.
crap. I know you're talking about.
Are you talking
Dude,
about from a technical standpoint, or are you talking
Like,
No, we're talking about from MMA to WWE because
Wait,
I'm
okay.
thinking of one guy. I don't know if
I know Tyler,
who's
he's actually who's
Bobby Lashley?
Huh?
You're talking about like
Who?
MMA tough guys that are
He was-
professional.
he was. I mean, I'm talking about like the late '90s. I'm going back.
Oh, you're talking
like,
about the other guy from UFC.
what the hell is
guy
his
with the
name?
mustache.
Mark Miro?
No, not Mark Miro.
no. God, I've heard that name.
Severn?
Fuck you.
Dan
He
Severn.
came. He
Dan
came.
the Beast Severn.
Dan Severn. Dan Severn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Dan
I
the
was
Beast
thinking.
Severn versus Steve Blackman, one of the most underrated rivalries.
That's an
Oh my
underrated
God,
match in
so
its own
good.
right. I don't care what anybody fucking says. I think
Oh, yeah.
Steve Black was an underrated wrestler in the to the late 90s.
I like Steve. I like the.
Did you guys ever catch Severin actually fighting in the UFC back in the mid 90s and actually utilizing professional wrestling moves in his fights? Like,
no, I had to check out his. I had to check out his highlights.
He was actually giving MMA fighters like German suplexes. It was just crazy.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, I'm seeing his fights, and he looks like he's giving people like German suplexes, like he's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my god!
To do that in professional wrestling,
Cena's
in an MMA fight is totally different.
Right. And then
moves of doom.
I swear I saw an MMA fight where somebody gave another fighter of the Walls of Jericho for the win.
Boston Crab, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw. I'm like, what?
You can't see me.
It's one thing to pull these moves off in a professional wrestling scenario.
Yeah. But they're doing MMA? God dang.
Because first of all, that the Octa does not give.
Yeah.
And
look at this.
Big match John, baby.
Right, this is a nice show of respect.
Shoulder tackle. What's next? A 5-knuckle shuffle?
Yes, sir.
5-knuckle shuffle time, baby.
Oh,
you can't see me? You can't see me?
Damn.
Let's go. Superman punch. Oh, he's going to give a double 5-knuckle shuffle?
Oh, here we go. Oh, shit. This is good. This has been great. This is a great match.
Yo, we're getting a double 5-knuckle shuffle with Kevin Owens and John Cena.
I'm not surprised John Cena didn't do much because of the fact that, you know, he's got the Hollywood stuff, so they want to take a chance of him getting injured. But
yeah,
which makes sense.
Cool to see. It's so cool to see John Cena in the ring. It's a delight.
And
it's awesome. I've been a fan of John Cena since he even came into the company, and this is just making my night.
So KO and John Cena pick up the dub over the blood.
And you can tell too with his reactions, he still loves the business.
Oh yeah, John Cena always loves the WWE. He's WWE to the heart and soul.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
Absolutely, but honestly,
here's the thing. He loves it more than The Rock does. Yes, I said that. He loves it more than The Rock does. Yeah, even though
that is crazy. Now looking back at it, you know, just
because at least John can actually free up his schedule where he's there at least one night,
at least
a year,
or at least try to get there at least 1 or 2 nights if he can.
Yeah, because look, he's been there at least once every year, even when he's in Hollywood now.
I mean, you heard the rumored match he might have at WrestleMania against Logan Paul.
I would not mind that,
dude. The way Logan Paul has wrestled. The way Logan Paul has wrestled,
that's the thing too. Like,
shocking.
Isn't Logan Paul almost out for a year with the torn ACL?
Yeah, he busted up his ACL.
Yeah,
it wasn't his ACL. It was his MCL. His ACL is still intact, so he had to get reconstructive surgery on his MCL and his meniscus. But his ACL is intact, so at least he can. If he rehabs close enough, there's a possibility. Sounds like he's going to be back in time for WrestleMania. So, because the ACL, he'd be out for a lot longer, but luckily it's only the MCL, so he should be able to come back around WrestleMania.
So Logan really dodged a bullet there.
The question is right now, and obviously we just finished the last episode of Smackdown in 2022. Wow. The WWE's got to find out if The Rock is going to be available because you need to lock down those main event plans. And if The Rock is not a go, then it's probably going to be Roman and Cody. And then you could have Seth take on Drew McIntyre, I guess, for the title.
Which I would not have no problems with. I would not have no problems with that.
I wouldn't have a problem with it either. Honestly, I don't like the titles being merged. Nor do I like the tag titles. I can deal with that. Fine. But the main titles, no.
Nah.
But does Cody beat Roman?
I would have to say so because you brought back Cody for one reason, and it's really trying to.
Yeah, and the thing is, you've already written this story that he's been trying to.
Actually, the one thing he has not held.
No. Hold on. the story is, yeah, you're right there, but you got to look deeper. When he came back in that promo he cut saying he wants to do something his father never did in the company, is win the world title. He's going after the WWE title. And it's something that his father has never won. He won the NWA title, and you got to look at it too, from a broader standpoint too. Look what he did outside the company. He won the NWA title. Because remember, he beat Nick Aldis at All Out or All In, and the fact and the story calls that he's got one more title to match his father.
Yeah,
or to surpass his father, mind you. And that's to win the WWE title.
This is interesting. It sounds like that the new plans could be happening for the women's championship on SmackDown. It sounds like it could be Ronda Rousey versus Rhea Ripley.
Oh, interesting.
That's the new plans they have, which means that Charlotte Flair is dropping the title at. Now
the question is, who's she going to drop it to? That's the biggest question.
Probably Ronda.
Who? Charlotte will probably just drop it back to Ronda at Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. Christ!
It's probably what's going to happen. She'll probably get her token title win. She'll hold it for a couple of months, and then she'll probably drop it to her at Royal Rumble, and then Ripley will win the Royal Rumble, and then she'll challenge Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. And then for the Raw Women's title, I mean, I guess you could go Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, unless you have somebody else in mind who could challenge Bianca.
I mean, what else is hot on the main roster, on the Raw roster, outside of Bianca and Becky?
Nobody.
Cross.
Nope.
Nikki. Yeah.
I think Nikki.
No, I don't know about Nikki. She needs to.
Nah, that's still too soon for her.
You could try it, but I don't know if it's.
I don't think that's. I think that's not going to get it over well with the fans.
I mean, I would just do Becky and Bianca.
Bianca, just go back to. It's just like, and then try to turn Bianca heel, for crying out loud. Like, her babyface runs is getting really boring. And I like Bianca, but her babyface run is just not doing it for me.
Mm-hmm. Or you could possibly do, here's another idea, a triple threat match. Charlotte versus Ronda versus Rhea.
I wouldn't have no problems with that. And it's like, I don't know. Like,
I wouldn't have a problem with that because Ronda brings every match down.
I mean, that would be the one. That'll be the one problem. Absolutely. It's going to be tough going to the Royal Rumble and further beyond starting to start of 2023, because, like I said, we both don't like, all of us, we don't like Ronda. Most of us, we don't like Charlotte because of what the hell just happened tonight, which was kind of bullshit. But in the end, it's just like there's, I don't know, like, it's really hard to just how to feel about that. If I'll be completely honest,
that's the thing. I have the problem with it because
what
does this tell the rest of SmackDown Women's Division? Oh, well, guess what? We're just gonna have Ronda win the title back at the Royal Rumble. The only woman that has honestly felt like she's gotten better and has gotten more over is Rhea Ripley. Out of all the women on these rosters, she's the only one that has made leaps and bounds and improvement, because when she turned heel and joined Judgment Day, she has really become the one woman on both rosters that has really taken a jump. Everybody else, they have little moments, but they're not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
Of them. Liv Morgan, maybe, but Liv Morgan, we came back to reality. She's just not believable enough.
Like, we can't take her serious, and it pains me because I love Liv Morgan. I really do. It pains me, but like,
she's a Jersey girl. I love her, but she's
that's what pains me because of that. And like, she's just one of those girls that's like, you know, she's got this awesome personality, but it's just like, it's hard to take her seriously.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, well, if it's going to be Rhea versus Ronda at the WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's title, obviously Rhea's winning. Rhea is winning the Royal Rumble. There's no other woman that's even in discussion right now. Rhea
I agree. I agree 1,000%.
There's no debate. Rhea Ripley is winning the Women's Royal Rumble, and Rhea Ripley is becoming Women's Champion. It doesn't matter if it's Raw or SmackDown. That's the only course of action you can go because that woman has reinvented herself. She's gotten over so incredibly well on Raw with the Judgment Day. She needs to become a champion. It would be foolish for them not to pull it off. Pull the trigger
facts.
now. Well, one
I
other
think that,
woman. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Sorry, I'll let you finish if you want to.
I mean, I'm just thinking of any other woman on that women's division on either side that deserves to win the Royal Rumble more than Rhea. There's nobody I could think of.
No, there isn't, and the legitimacy that she brings as well. I mean, she can, like, for me, like, there's not too many female wrestlers that can legitimately look like they can hang with the guys. She most definitely is one of them. But I personally see it being the Raw title that she would go for. Like, I mean, they've already teased in the backstage segments her and Bianca Belair kind of running into each other and just staring at each other. And it would make more sense than having her go to SmackDown and I don't know. I guess now that Charlotte Flair is a champion, I can't see her facing Ronda Rousey, being that they're both heels. But I think the seeds have already been sown with Bianca Belair. I think it makes too much sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's, I know they're like BS reports, so, like the dirt sheet stuff, but they're barely teasing now a Ronda Rousey versus Rhea Ripley match at WrestleMania, which that might mean that Charlotte's only holding that championship for a few weeks, and then she's going to drop it back to Ronda at the Royal Rumble.
Then drop it
to Rhea at WrestleMania. Rhea wins the Royal Rumble, and she goes after Ronda Rousey. I mean, you could do that, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I'm just not happy. The SmackDown women's division needs some type of facelift right now because you're just hot potatoing that title between 2 or 3 women.
I would say both Raw and SmackDown women's division needs a facelift.
The whole WWE needs something. Not just
really.
The division, the whole freaking thing.
Not really. Everything else is fine. It's just the women's division that's so depleted.
No one really cares about the women's division. Like, if you looked at Raw, I know Raw when they have women's wrestling, and as Girl put it, like when you throw a paper plane down, no one gives a flying fuck about them.
No one cares. No one on both sides. No one cares.
Just in regards to what you said about like professional wrestling needs a facelift, like I agree, but to a point, with some objectivity to that, it definitely has changed, at least for the better, for the most part, since Triple H has been able to take the reins. But it's not going to be a quick process. It's going to be a slow process.
It's going to take years to get it fixed.
But for me personally, it's definitely light years away from how bad it's been for the last 3-4 years, ever since Triple H has taken the reins. I mean,
I agree with that. That's absolutely the truth. The WWE, even on its worst Monday Night Raws or Friday Night Smackdowns, is a million times better than what it was before. And it's going to take years for Triple H to really implement what he wants to do with this brand. So it's just the beginning. We're about to go in our first year with Triple H in charge of creative. So that's why like the Royal Rumble is getting as much buzz as it is, WrestleMania, everything, because Triple H knows the pulse of the wrestling fans. And he's going to go out there and give everybody that type of, spark that this wrestling business needs. And you know what? AEW is going to raise their game too, because I feel like they got a little complacent. And I think now that what WWE is doing, it's going to raise AEW's game. And it's going to make 2023 probably the biggest year of wrestling that we've had in a very long time.
And I'll say this too. And, I've actually made this argument. I think some can agree to or disagree. I think this all started when Vince and Bruce Prichard killed the women's wrestling. Mm-hmm. So now we have to... Now Triple H, when he gets like Jeff said, when he gets in full control, has to start this, quote unquote rebuild of the women's division and try to redo everything that Vince has fucked up trying to do.
Do you guys believe that this is actually Vince McMahon? Because there has been rumors of him coming back.
They've already said that.
Some officials
hold on. Triple H and Stephanie said no.
Oh, really?
Well, it doesn't matter if they say no. He's got the majority share. He could come back if he feels like it. They have no power over Vince. He owns the majority of the share.
I know, but they basically told him don't do it.
The board of directors have to be the one to stop him if they have the balls. Triple H and Stephanie have no power when it comes to Vince.
And from what I've also read too, a couple of the board of directors did say no. That's part of the shareholders. Yeah, they Not just Triple H.
Shareholders said no. The government
Yeah,
said
you
no.
gotta talk about
there was just too many red flags. I mean, I'm sure in his heart he wants to come back, but from a shareholder, from a
money
from the outside scope perspective, like there's just he can't come back, and it's just
WWE's thriving right now with all of them going.
Especially
the WWE is thriving.
We do not need to go back to square one. We do not need that right now.
And especially all the attention that like all these sexual assault cases have been garnering, there's no
it's
way
not going to be a good look.
There's even been more coming out of like even when
there's been more money. There's been no way. Yeah, it's been revealed.
Like, damn, we thought
it's been revealed, Rob. It's been revealed that there's been more money that came out of that.
Do you think Vince McMahon really cares though? He's at a point in his career where he knows he's at the end, like the end of the line is not that far away. He doesn't really care at this point what happens to him. He's going to go out there and do whatever the hell he wants because he's Vince McMahon. And nobody's going to stop him. That's the thing. Vince McMahon
unless it drops dead, but that's the only exception. But I know
Vince McMahon's never going. Vince McMahon will die in like doing something with WWE. He's never going to stop until he gets control of his company back. We all know that. That's just who Vince is.
Dude, in this day and age of cancel culture, there's no way, no how he's going to be able to come back, even if he wants to. And I know he wants to, but
absolutely,
it's not going to happen. There's just too many red flags there. And like I said, in this day and age where cancel culture and all that is a thing, like on whatever side of the fence you're on, whatever. But like if he's guilty of doing all these things, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, how many cases have come out? To me,
I mean, I think I lost count.
As McMahon likes to put it, there's no chance in hell. No chance.
And it's like not just that. I mean, you can go back to the decades. I mean, this Vince McMahon's been in so much more many scandals over the years. Does everybody remember the steroid scandal in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, where he had other super snitched on him? It's like, yeah, we did get steroids from him. First of all, he should have went to jail for drug distribution, but no, it's like not fuck that. And like I said, the sexual assault things, and there was another scandal I forgot he was already in. This was. I could be wrong.
You had the drug scandal, and then you had the sexual assault scandal.
Like it's just like
and then you had the scandal, which was kind of like a tie into the drug scandal with the Chris Benoit thing.
Yeah, and I think this is
where he had like a lack of wellness policy.
Yeah, this is before the
wellness. Yeah, but at the same time, again. Why does Vince McMahon care what cancel culture? They'll cancel him, but why does Vince care? He's not going to be around much longer. Vince is going to be like, F it. I don't care at this point.
I'm going to die.
You don't think Vince McMahon is sitting there right now, pissed off because he sees his son-in-law coming in, changing everything that he had. He's pissed off because the WWE is thriving right now compared to where it was before in terms of stocks, popularity, interest, and everything. You don't think that burns in the soul of Vince?
Yeah, it burns.
He does not care about cancel culture or anybody trying to cancel him.
Know.
He doesn't care.
We know that. Yes.
Yeah, but you got to also think about sorry, you go ahead first, man.
But here's the thing. Yes, we know he doesn't care about cancel culture. Yes, we know he doesn't care about all that. The problem is that it's not just him. You have the higher ups above him that's avoiding him coming back. And they're the reason why cancel culture is winning over Vince. Yeah, we know Vince doesn't care about cancel culture.
WWE's finished. If he comes back, WWE's finished.
If he comes back, WWE is basically dead.
You got to also look at even when there was even the thought put out into the world that the rumor was that he wanted to come back, and from my knowledge, WWE stock crashed drastically.
Oh yeah, they lost a ton of money.
Lost a ton of stock, and there's too much they would lose in terms. It would be first things first. It would be a very, very bad look. Second thing, they would lose a lot in terms of sponsorship, in terms of their stocks. Like everything would go drastically down. And whether or not that he cares about that, I mean, look, there's just too much there for him to be able to come back.
It really is, and the worst thing is too is you're gonna have superstars want out of their contracts because they want nothing to do with him when he.
If he came back, he'd fire everybody that Triple H just rehired. They'd all be gone again.
Yeah, but knowing Triple H, he's always going to he's very picky of who he wants to keep. I know he's definitely going to keep Charlotte and Ronda Rousey for as long as he can. It's I mean,
we know he's going to keep the golden children of Ronda and Charlotte.
Well, he's not a stupid businessman. He knows who the popular stars out there that a lot of people still come to see. It's Ronda, Charlotte, Becky, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. They're the biggest stars in the company right now. And I mean, as much as we get sick of them because we think they're getting pushed down our throats sometimes too much, they know WWE is about marketing too, and they know who the biggest stars are. But at the same time, you got to be able to create other new stars that could potentially get over. Like Rhea Ripley has. Or before he had the issues, he had a Matt Riddle, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn got over organically when he was a mid-carder for the most part. But this Bloodline storyline has put Sami Zayn into like the limelight now, or how popular he became. So, I mean, like, you have to be able to create some of these stars or they get that lucky break. Remember, Becky Lynch was going nowhere in her career for a while. She was by far the worst of the big four in terms of the four horsewomen. The second she had her nose broken by Nia Jax, I believe in that Survivor Series match.
That was Survivor Series.
Everything changed for her, and she became
that was before Survivor Series. This was like kind of like the quote unquote SmackDown invading Raw. I think at the time.
Yeah.
This was the build up to that.
Like she got her nose broken and everything changed. She became
she got probably the biggest crowd reaction that you could get, and it's I don't know. Like this is gonna really drive most fans crazy. I
think the bottom line is just that like there's just too much from the outside scope for him to come back. I mean, yes, he's achieved a lot during his tenure, and bringing what he's brought to historically to professional wrestling, but just as it stands now and for the foreseeable future, like with everything going on with the bad press and the publicity that's involved, like it's just I just don't see it. There's just no chance.
I completely agree with you, and I think eventually WWE is going to get sold. I don't think Triple H and Stephanie are going to be in the business too long. I think eventually they're going to try to get WWE to a point where they're going to try to sell them off to one of the highest bidders, and then eventually they're going to get out of the business.
You think Triple H would get out of the business?
Yeah, I mean, Triple H might stay, but I could definitely see the McMahon family getting out of the business. I think they're going to.
I think professional wrestling is his life. I don't think he wants to be anywhere but.
Yeah, I mean, Triple H would be dumb enough if he ever did that.
Well, I mean, you never know how some. I mean, he has had health issues, so I mean,
that is true. He almost had. I think he almost had a heart attack. He
had something that almost killed him. So
yeah.
It depends on how long
I get that, business. But like, he still want to be involved. Like,
it'd be creatively, which I would not mind. But like you said, if the McMahons will get out of the business, look, I think most wrestling fans will be super happy with that. And with the right bidder, I mean, who's to say? I mean, well, I don't know. It's going to be weird just thinking about that if that were to happen.
I think Triple H is the right man at the top, though. If there's to me personally, there's no one better to have at the top than Triple H.
Yeah, he's got the pulse of the business.
Name a person who would be a better fit to be the guy at the top of the helm than Triple H. I can't personally.
Absolutely.
No, if you want to mold the future of the wrestling business right now, there's no guy that's better for it than Triple H, especially what he did. I mean, he turned NXT into the best show in the WWE for so many years because of what he did in Black and Gold, getting all those independent talents that were successful all over the place, putting them on that brand and turning that into easily the best promotion out there in wrestling. So, I mean, it's Triple H knows the wrestling business. I just wonder with his health, because of the fact he had such a major health scare, and how long and how hard is he going to want to go into the business without a health issue becoming arising as he gets older. That's the thing you have to wonder. And who's WWE getting it sold to? Because I don't think the McMahons are going to be in the WWE for too long. And I think Nick Khan, he was only brought into the WWE, in my opinion, to be eventually sold off to like the highest bidder, like Apple, Disney, or whoever else wants to purchase the WWE.
We did hear some rumors that Disney had drawn interest in buying the company at one point, but those have just kind of been died down ever since then. But it's just, Yeah, that's a big question. Like, who's going to buy the company? Because for me, if you're going to have a PG product, one company I could think is probably Disney. You know, I know Disney, you know, throughout the entire history hasn't really been clean, but they've been they're more family friendly than anything else. So I wouldn't be surprised if it were Disney, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Well, we'll see when the time comes.
I mean, it'll be interesting, but next year is going to be fun because, especially with AEW, everybody's going to be talking about in 2023. The main story is going to be what is MJF going to do. It's going to be the year of MJF.
Absolutely,
everybody's going to be talking about
sure.
what is MJF going to do. We all probably think in the back of our minds, MJF signed a long-term deal with AEW, and they're just playing this gimmick along just to get all the fans believing that he's actually going to leave AEW to WWE, which would be incredible if MJF was ever on WWE. But I think that he's going to become the biggest story. It's going to be the year of MJF. Like 2023 is going to be MJF's year for what he's going to do in the wrestling business. I mean, WWE is going to have great moments, but it's going to be MJF's year.
I think him talking about that free agency thing is also, it adds to his heat. So to say, even if it's not true. So yeah, go ahead.
I love it. And anything MJF does is gold. The guy is easily the best. But the guy is the best thing in wrestling, and the best guy I've heard on the mic since The Rock. MJF is that good. He has that presence to him on the mic, his character, everything. He's just that. He's that type of level of a performer. Since The Rock.
Absolutely. But I just got some irrelevant news. Barbara Walters just fucking died too.
Who?
Barbara Walters just died.
Barbara Walters just died?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck off, 2022.
2022, can you die already, please?
I tell you who else passed away recently. Don West. You remember?
Yeah,
earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, earlier today he died.
Sucks.
That's Don.
Say what you will about the guy, but he brought a lot of energy to that.
Him and Mike Tenay were the best.
So charismatic, so enthusiastic with his calls.
And they were solid in WCW too.
I enjoyed both of them. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I remember Rob. I've got a fun place for Don West, so it's sad to see.
I think most of us do. You know, it's just like if. You know, knowing I could imagine how hurt Mike Tenay truly is. I could imagine just how
Mike Tenay must be like,
or Tony Schiavone too.
Yeah, I forgot about Tony Schiavone. Yeah, that's right. I remember him and Don West at WCW
or
Thunder.
even Larry Zabisco. Not Larry Zabisco. What the hell is his name? The other guy that announced for WCW.
Oh,
a little bit.
Are you talking about the ring announcer?
No. Another commentary man. It was a controversial
Mark
figure.
Madden?
Mark Madden, yeah, he was another guy that was part of WCW too. So he's probably a little bit hurting as well because they were all part of that WCW brand back in the day when they kept rotating.
Was Don West part of that WCW brand? Though?
I think he was a little bit.
He was. He also had some from WCW Thunder, which is all, from what I remember, was every on Tuesday nights. Yeah.
Oh my god, WCW Thunder was a disaster.
That was when you look back at it, that shit was a fucking disaster.
That's as bad as Rampage is right now.
Yeah,
and Rob, it was, Rob.
I'm a big WCW guy.
I love WCW too. I always loved WCW back in the day. I would watch Nitro and Raw every single day.
Classic Nitro is like, it's crazy when you look up Peacock. It's just like how wrestling was.
Yeah.
But,
and Rob,
I recently just did an NWO tier list on my channel, just looking back. Like, those are my favorite memories of professional wrestling, is that period there when WCW and WWF were at their peak.
That was the best. Yeah, the attitude era and the NWO era. You can't touch it.
Yeah.
And Rob, Thunder was not on Tuesdays. It was on Thursdays because remember, SmackDown wanted to compete with.
Yeah, they were competing with SmackDown, so it was WCW.
Yeah, that was a horrible idea.
Terrible idea.
SmackDown absolutely just wiped the floor with them. And remember, WCW. WCW was winning the ratings when they had the NWO, and then somebody named Stone Cold Steve Austin and those guys came along the Attitude Era and just wiped the floor with WCW.
And then by '99, they just died.
Yeah. And then I remember, I like it yesterday too. March 16, 2001, last match of WCW Nitro, Panama City, Florida, Ric Flair and Sting.
And then it was over.
Yeah.
Curtain call.
Shane McMahon bought WCW.
Yeah,
That was
air quotes bought.
Yeah, the kayfabe storyline, but knowing that it's crazy too. Even looking, if you look back, it's like even me and Tyler actually talked about this. It was kind of weird seeing Stone Cold with hair. Well, let's be real. Like it's one image.
Yeah, long, luscious blonde hair.
I was like,
The Hollywood Blondes.
I was like, this can't be Steve Austin. Like
he went from having long, luscious blonde hair to just nothing.
Like and become to what he is now. Be the
remember he was the ringmaster too. Remember he was the ringmaster.
Because remember Rob,
up until he had that change of character. Up until he had that change of character, he wasn't really fully able to be himself. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was a Hollywood blonde back in WCW, like you kind of saw a little bit of teasers of it when in his time in ECW. I don't know if you guys remember that.
That promo.
He took influence from, and he even came out and said it. He took influence from Sandman in regards to his character, but also it's a portrayal largely of what he truly is in real life. You know what I mean? You know, with the volume turned way up, of course. But like when you look at it, he wasn't really able to, you know, kind of have that portrayal of like, all right, you just be you and do what you want to do. And it wasn't until he found that Stone Cold like character. When it came out, you know, the King of the Ring '96, when he cut that promo, and then
we cut the promo on Jake the Snake. Yep.
Yeah. Talk about your stance. Well, Austin 316 said, "I just whooped your ass."
And then the rest was history.
You know, and and I'll say this too. Even if you go back to Survivor in 1996, or was it 95, 96, wherever the case may be. Look, ever since Rock turned heel, like that's the same thing with The Rock when he turned heel.
Rob, that was 97.
That was Raw '97 when he came out because he took a hiatus away from when it wasn't working out with his Rocky Maivia character, and then when they decided to bring him back on screen and he came and he interfered in the match with, I think Farouk was wrestling somebody, could be Steve Blackman, but like he was wrestling somebody, and then Rock came with it, and then was able to join the Nation, and then the very next week cut the promo, and then the rest is history. So.
I mean,
the Nation versus DX was one of the most underrated rivalries in history. I loved it.
And still to this day, the fact that Rock still pulled the same prank he did almost 20 years earlier, like give most of the Rolex watch, except for
I love how who gets the picture?
That Farouk.
Oh yeah, it was Ron Simmons. I love the table for three, and he brings out the picture. He's like, damn. He did it again.
You know what's interesting is that if you go and listen to podcasts of them talking and that shooting off, you know, when they had these shoot interviews and you hear them talking about what's that guy? The guy with the red trunks, African-American guy back in the 90s.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Savio Vega.
Oh, that's Ahmed Johnson.
Ahmed Johnson.
Ahmed Johnson.
Do yourself a favor. Go and listen to those all the guys from the Nation talking about Ahmed Johnson and the backstage stuff that was going on with him and how
I heard he was not well liked backstage
hit with each other. And they were legitimate stiffing each other. Even what's his name? D'Lo had a backstage fight with Ahmed Johnson and actually, you know, put him in a sleeper hold and was going to put him to sleep if it wasn't for Godfather interfering. So, you know, some interesting stories when you if you look into it.
I mean, even D'Lo. I mean, for the longest time, I felt like that dude was just criminally underrated in the WWF in the late '90s.
Everybody in that group was so incredibly talented. And even in DX, I thought Road Dogg and Badass were some of the most underrated characters. I thought Road Dogg had charisma for days.
Absolutely.
Road Dogg was awesome,
and X-Pac was good too. I mean. The thing is, back then, I guess it's because the different audiences back in the day compared to now, but it was more developed. I think now the difference in wrestling compared to where it was back then is WWE was more focused on characters and storylines, you know, trying to get like big characters and catchphrases over more than the wrestling. Whereas nowadays, wrestling has now become the primary focus. And in my opinion, I still believe characters and like storylines, and that is what gets you over the most, because everybody in wrestling can wrestle great matches. You wouldn't be a wrestler if you couldn't. You need to have that character to put you over the top and the gimmick to put you over the top, like Rhea Ripley. Ripley has always been good, but she couldn't talk on the mic. She was going nowhere. The second they turned her heel and they aligned her with the Judgment Day, look how much better she's
really
become.
took off. Same can be said with Dominic. Dominic has really done has not really.
I love what Dominic's doing right now.
Dominic's
Dominic's tremendous.
As a heel, it's just a match made in heaven for Dominic. And even Finn Balor, if you looked at one interview he said, he's giving this kid a lot of praise. Yeah, he brings the nuclear heat to Judgment Day, like something we can. I mean, as established guys, we had a hard time doing.
Finn's been tremendous.
You know what the sad thing was, that like up until that point, you could even make the argument that is it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? Which one is the one that's wrestling? You could even make the argument that Logan Paul showed more wrestling talent in those few matches that he had than Dominic has up until that point. You know what I mean? So he really needed
that. That is absolutely true.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, do you guys see that too? I mean,
I can't disagree with that.
I'll say something about Bad Bunny too.
Bad Bunny, give the man a lot of praise.
Dude, when he hit that, what was it? Panama Sunrise on the outside?
Almost Canadian Destroyer on WrestleMania on the outside. Like
he hit on the Miz, right?
Yeah, he hit it on the Miz on the outside. Or no, he didn't hit on the Miz on the outside. He hit him in the ring, the middle of the ring. Yeah, he hit him in the middle of the ring with that one before Damian Priest got his move.
But it's to my point.
But I'm talking about when Bad Bunny hit a move on. No, it was John Morrison. He hit it on.
Oh,
and the Miz looked like he was absolutely shit. He was crapping a brick on the inside of the ring.
Well, that's why I appreciate when celebrities come out there and they really want to, not embarrass themselves and put respect to the wrestling business. That's why I appreciate people like Logan Paul and I appreciate Bad Bunny because they worked in the gym and they wanted to make sure they go out there and put on a great match.
You can tell
Pat McAfee's tremendous. Pat McAfee is tremendous at what he does.
And here's the thing: the funny thing is about the Logan Paul thing. Before he even started wrestling, I hated the guy. Now I don't even hate him as much as I did.
I think a lot of his portrayal is what gets him attention. You know what I mean? Like, off camera, he's not so much what he portrays out in the celebrity world. It's what makes him his money and what gets him attention. And I get that. You know what I'm saying? But
do you think Seth Rollins is dancing all the place? Yeah. You think Seth Rollins is going out there every single day dancing like he is in these odd outfits all the time? It's probably not Seth Rollins in real life, but the gimmick gets over. And
that would be funny if that was
I kind of wish it was his real life shtick because it's funny.
It's funny, but I mean, the outfit choices like this.
Imagine this, Rob. Him dancing with the fur jacket to his car.
Also, and people say, "What is the hell?" Like this would be a bunch of eyebrows raised. Like, what the hell is going on?
You gotta give credit to him. Give credit to Seth Rollins. He was able to reinvent himself after he had how many gimmick changes over that time period?
A lot.
He was able to reinvent himself and get over.
He had like 3 in like the past year.
Yeah,
but that's the good thing when these wrestlers get to this point where it's just like they can do whatever and they can still pull it off. I mean, those outfits that Seth Rollins coming, the see-through lingerie one. I mean, if that was most other wrestlers, you'd be like, what the hell? Like, get him off my TV. But the fact it was him and he was able to, run with it.
And like he said, or like one show he wore a jacket that's like one size too small. Like someone in my comments says, someone did he rape Becky's closet? So I was like. I just face palm sight. I'm done.
That's the outfit I'm talking about. The one that's like the see-through lingerie that looks way too small. Anybody else, you'd be like,
and you can see his underwear. You can see his boxer shorts on.
I could imagine what Becky's like. What the fuck are you wearing?
Did you see some of the outfits Becky was wearing?
Woo! Yeah, Becky's another one.
Well, it was part of the gimmicks.
She wore one of the
gimmicks Vince put on.
Dude. She wore an outfit that really bothered me. It looked like she was wearing 1,000 mirrors on her. It was so bad.
That's Vince McMahon. He decided to change it up when she didn't need to be changed. She was much better as a babyface than a heel. Triple H changed everything that was wrong with all these people and turned them into the types of wrestlers that we expected. Look how good Nikki Cross looks now compared to where she was before.
Thank God.
She's back into that creepy sanity role that she was in before, which fits her so well. And I would even argue that she stole the show in that women's War Games match. I thought she was the best one out of everybody. She was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because she looked psycho the entire match.
And she was
It was
great.
awesome. It was
Just
awesome.
a little bit of objectivity, though. Like, I'm high on Triple H, and I think it's the right move, him being at the top. Not every move he's made has been successful. I mean, we were talking about the returns and that, and them being underwhelming. I mean, look at guys like, shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it looks like they're turning them heel finally tonight, but I don't think.
Yeah, well, they needed that badly. I mean,
they got nothing. They're nothing without Shane Strickland. I'm sorry, that's just
Swerve. They're missing Swerve badly.
But he's killed it in AEW.
Yeah, well, he's one of my favorite wrestlers in AEW. Swerve.
I love what Swerve's doing right now. Swerve's been absolutely tremendous, and I can't wait to see what him and Keith Lee do in their rivalry on AEW. But would you bring out Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams and throw them in Hit Row?
Yeah,
they are heels.
I would definitely would pull it off.
You know what I would do? This is just a bold take, so to say. I would turn them heel, and they're kind of teasing the return of Lashley going back to the Hurt Business kind of thing.
Yeah,
I for one wouldn't mind if they kind of turn heel, kind of turned a little bit more serious, and maybe be that backup kind of role as in the Hurt Business. I wouldn't mind seeing.
That'd be like the enforcer role,
something like that. Just. You need your henchmen in these staples.
Yeah, and, that is. What?
I think it could
I would not be opposed to that.
I think it would do wonders for their career if they could.
Because
learn behind
get MVP back with them too. Get MVP back with
them. Because MVP is just
that guy to put him over.
Because if you talk about
they need help. They need help.
Yeah, they definitely would need help. But I think far
MVP would be I think he could do something with them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the dude's been around the business for over 20 years, give or take. What do you make it say?
About 2002.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
He was pretty good when he was actually in the ring. Yeah, he's been around for a long time. He didn't really get going until around
I think
2007, 2008.
I was about to say 07, 08.
Yeah.
Because it's just he also had other
mouthpiece role, right? Like what he's been for the last. I mean, he was that when Bobby Lashley was in Impact, when he was in TNA, and look what it did with Bobby Lashley and his career. Bobby Lashley, great look, great physique, good in the ring, but his mic skills and his charisma was lacking, to say the least. But when they aligned him with MVP back in Impact, that was the turning point for Lashley, and now he's been able to be what he can be, and his promo and his charisma has gotten so much better.
It's the same thing. You can make the same argument with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's another guy has really helped careers out as well at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock Lesnar, I know it does get some mixed emotions, but yeah, I mean, he's okay on the mic, but I mean, you got Paul Heyman for him, and same with Roman Reigns. Look, say what you like, whether you like him or hate him. Without Paul Heyman, we would not even see the Tribal Chief or the Bloodline for Christ.
We've all been asking for Roman Reigns to turn heel because we believed he needed that change. He was just too generic. He's too generic as a babyface. When he finally went heel, then we got to see the real Roman Reigns. And even though the gimmick got a little bit stale for a little bit, but the Sami Zayn inclusion has really jumped it back up. We saw the real Roman Reigns, and the guy became as good as we all thought he could be.
Yeah, but it's just he finally reached
he reached his full potential.
Look at what these guys that are the mouthpieces have done for guys who aren't quite there yet when it comes to promos and charisma. I mean, you were talking about I was talking about Bobby Lashley. You talked about Brock Lesnar. I mean, look at him now. A lot of that, how he can cut a promo and in being able to show more of his charisma and his personality, so to say, a lot of that you can attribute to Paul Heyman and his effect rubbing off on Brock Lesnar the same way I was talking about with Lashley and MVP. Like MVP, like he might be able to wrestle now. Like still, I don't know, but like he's more valuable as that mouthpiece manager kind of role. And I think I just throw it out there that I think that could be something. Whereas if you're gonna try and do something with Hit Row, like maybe possibly that could be a direction they go in. I don't know.
You know who could also use a mouthpiece? Ricochet. I think Ricochet needs a mouthpiece. He's not good when it comes to his promo skills. Ricochet is so damn good in the ring but the guy can't cut a promo and he's
Yeah.
on the mic. He's
He's not all the way terrible though. He's not. All
He's
the way
not. He's not like god awful. I've heard,
but he's
heard
close
worse,
to being.
but he's not good. He's not good on the mic at all. He's very, very, very bland. He needs.
Did you guys ever watch the video of Jeff Farmer cutting the promo back in the day? You know the
Well, how far are we going back?
We're going back in the 90s. It's like one of the
was it
funniest, terrible promos.
Early 90s?
Early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't know because me and Tyler were not around that time.
Yeah,
I might know it a little bit. What promotion was he part of?
It was like an NWA promotion, but it's historically bad. Like it, when people talk about bad promos, it's up there with the worst of all time.
Was it
it's
Ultimate
a funny
bad?
watch, but yeah, he's not.
Was it Ultimate Warrior in WCW?
Oh, it's terrible. It's much worse. But yeah, if you YouTube Jeff Farmer, he was
I would forget that out of my head.
Honestly, dude, we need to forget the Ultimate Warrior in WCW.
Is it Jeff Farmer or Farmer?
Farmer.
Farmer. Okay, let me check him out because Ultimate Warrior was a friggin' disaster in WCW.
Oh, he was like he made the Ultimate Warrior, that one promo, look like The Rock, basically. It's that bad.
Like, oh my god!
Oh, good lord!
Yeah, because that was a disaster overall. Seeing the Ultimate Warrior, Ultimate Warrior was another one of those guys where he wasn't great on the mic, but he had that presence to him that put him over. The character is what put Ultimate Warrior over. Yeah. Even Hogan had those catchphrases, but I mean, if I had to pick like a promo battle, I'm taking Austin, I'm taking The Rock, I'm taking Cena, I'm taking those guys over Hogan. I like Hogan a lot. I mean, Hogan's a monster, influential figure in wrestling, obviously what he did, but I mean, I don't think Hogan's mic skills could completely match up to what Cena, Rock, and even Austin could do. So,
what the hell is that?
It's called the best wrestling promo ever.
Oh my god! I gotta have to check
I've got to see that after this.
To Jeff's point, for the last and final thing, Hulk Hogan, you got to give the man some props. He's the one who brought professional wrestling to the mainstream. No one really gave a flying rat's ass about professional wrestling until Hulk Hogan came along. So without Hogan, we want to see like The Rock, Stone Cold, Cena, and everybody else. So
as far as being influential, but
everybody called Cena the second coming of Hulk Hogan. I think actually Cena was better. I think
Cena's just way better.
He's a better
version. What you will about Hogan, but like you can't deny he was the professional. He was the icon of professional wrestling.
He was.
He brought it to levels that no one else was able to bring it. And I don't think professional wrestling would be where it is today if it wasn't for Hogan's influence in the late 80s and early 90s.
Absolutely.
So what would you guys, for the last thing, what would you guys do? Who would you guys put on your ultimate Mount Rushmore of wrestling? Your top 4 names of all time.
Ooh, this is a good one. You can't
just go by in-ring. You got to talk about, like, influential wrestling figures all time.
Hogan would be on there. Definitely. Hogan.
I think, people are going to say Hogan, yeah. I'm trying to think.
Stone Cold would be there.
Stone Cold. It's definitely
Stone Cold. Possibly Hogan.
I think Hogan and Stone Cold are the shoo-ins.
Hogan's a shoo-in.
Stone Cold over The Rock?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say.
Look, I'm a Rock guy. Rock after a while stopped. Because Rock after a while stopped. Rock after a while.
San Martino up there, Bruno San Martino for what he did.
Yeah, the longest reigning WWE champion in history.
1,000-day reign. Yeah.
And I hate to say it, you have to think about putting John Cena in there for what he did with a dead period of wrestling.
I did.
He carried WWE for a very long time for what he did with that company.
You could go with that. Yeah, Stone Cold, Hogan, Bruno San Martino, and John Cena.
And 2802 is the exact record that is set by the late Bruno San Martino himself, and that's an 8-year reign. I've never seen this wrestling was a lot different back then. So,
but they were wrestling as much as they are nowadays. I mean, San Martino only wrestled a couple of times a year. back in the day.
Yeah,
The schedule wasn't as rigorous, so you can be able to hold that championship for a lot longer compared to now, because you have these guys out there on the road constantly, you know, wrestling almost every night.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, we're gonna see. I'm excited to see what the Royal Rumble has to offer, and definitely, you know, WrestleMania when WrestleMania comes along. But I'm excited for looking forward to next year in 2024 because WrestleMania coming to Philly.
No, here's the thing. I've always said this. Wrestling screwed me.
Guys hate you.
Wrestling screwed me this year and last year. Screwed me.
Now, I think we're about to get ready for the best year of wrestling we've had in a very long time.
Oh, absolutely.
In both WWE and AEW. I think both companies are going to raise their games, especially because WWE. WWE is going to try to have, it's going to be Triple H's first year as control of creative, and AEW had a very down year last year. There was probably the first year where they were really on the downside. You don't think Tony Khan, especially with that guy they brought in, Mike Mansberry, what he's doing for that company, like really changing the feel of AEW.
And the new production.
I think WWE and AEW are going to have a monster years going into 2023. I think
all the backstage problems as well with AEW had a lot to play with that.
Yeah, I agree.
All those problems that came about for the last year. I mean, it was a dumpster fire in AEW in terms of like what was going on backstage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this Mansory kid is really going to change the feel of AEW going forward. I think there was a monster pickup by AEW getting him in there.
The production was just not great.
The production, if you realize a lot better.
But Afakazi, Jeff, appreciate y'all hopping on.
No problem, man.
But yeah, you know, and then Thursday we have season 3 of the It's Funny podcast, so it's gonna be fun and a lot of stuff to talk about in the wrestling world. Because
are you gonna be doing Monday Night Raw with Earl and I?
I'm gonna be doing Monday Night Football.
Oh, you're doing the football game, okay?
Bengals and Bills. I cannot miss it because that's gonna be a good game on Monday night.
Yeah, I might be flipping back and forth with that one just to check it out.
Thanks for having me on, Philly. Appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Been a long time coming. I've been wanting to come and chop it up with the professionals.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah, man.
Great. But with that being said, though, check out Afakazi and Jeff as well. And then, have a good night, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Have a good night.